Alrighty. I think we are live once again. Hi everybody. Probably haven't seen us in a while. If you're one of our returning viewers, we originally were the runners of the hit podcast that died too early, Scuffed Rolls, but now we are returning once again as Scuffed Rolls revived. Ran by the same dude. My name's Thomas. With us, the party will get to introduce themselves here in a moment. But all you need to know is we're a bunch of goobers just trying to play and get into Pathfinder 2. So, but feel free to chill around and watch. But with no further ado, I'd be happy to get us started with an introduction. After the war between the gods and the creation, started a little late there. A little bit of a retcon. My apologies. The land of Gothric is an ancient and weathered land that has withstood war and tragedy aplenty. Yet even so, its far-spread and scarred lands have cultivated countless histories, none more recognized than the great empire of Gothric, which has presided in this land since the end of the Age of Dragons, when the great Archon himself and his children drove the beast beyond the realms. Since then, humanity was first tricked onto the surface by the Witch of Night. After the war between the gods and the creation of the barrier, which forced the gods to return to their eternal realm of Elysium atop the world spire, the empire of Gothric slowly faded into ruin, shrinking to the first and most faithful lands of Gothrin as the realm's peoples of Gothric fell from unity without the dwellers' guidance. This degradation of the empire was known hereafter as the Age of Division, and was an age of mixed histories from decades of peace to frightful conflicts. The realms of Gothric, however, only called to unify once more once the barrier waned and threatened to fall for the first time since its creation, 200 years ago, threatening to give way to the many corruptive horrors that lurk beyond it. The realm, still too divided to unite even in these times, forced for others to take the role. 14 great knights of Gothric, these great fighters and warriors of renown, rallied on a death march to restore the barrier. These brave souls marched beyond, and only 4 returned, but their task fulfilled, and the realm saved. And for the first time in centuries the dwellers spoke, awarding these brave knights to join them as Knights of Elysium, guardians of their holy realm, and to act as eternal protectors of the realm below. 3 of the 4 knights accepted. However, the greatest among them, Sir Ashen, the Time Knight, denied the dwellers' gracious offer, and instead decided to stay within the mortal plane and restore the empire of Gothric, becoming the first emperor in centuries since the Age of Division. However, even as a sponsored champion and hero of the realms, he could not sway the still separated realms to all rejoin the empire peacefully, most notably so with the demi-humans, Eldrin, orcs, dusk elves, and so forth, instead starting the largest civil war to ever befall the lands of Gothric between the realms of the empire of Gothric and the kingdoms of Theron. That would be known as the Great Divide. The 12 years that followed were among the bloodiest, filled with grief for all people of the empire and kingdoms. The war only ending after the Battle of Cracked Oak, where the forces of Gothric triumphed over the Theron's main force, effectively putting an end to the bloody war. Yet even though much of Theron's land was claimed, the merciful emperor allowed the beast folk to retain independence over the Elderwood, the heart of their previous kingdom, so long as they sweared non-aggression to the empire. And thus, after such long years, the empire has returned once more, under the strong rule of one of its very own heroes. But yet even in its unity, I fear Gothric has not yet seen the worst. As corruption still seeps into the realms, mortals vie for power and position, brigands and beasts prowl the unguarded recesses. Once more, and even worse, rumors have it of essence beasts appearing. Death being the only freeing liberty, it seems, in such trying times, but yet even for some, such a final dignity of life is taken. These folk forced back into the world as revenants, humanoid souls denied from the afterlife and returned to live again as creatures. These tragic creatures often rejected from the lives they once held, and now with a new duty of the unique position they now hold. And it's with such creatures that our story will begin. Your final moments, whether quick or slow, matter little now. Those moments but a memory at this point as your life was snuffed out, sending you in your unconscious drift into the beyond. Yet, there's nothing. No great halls filled with other dear departed to greet your arrival, and no gracing angels to guide you beyond. And no dwellers seen in this dreary afterlife, only the suffocating darkness of beyond. You sense your limbs, yet cannot feel them. You sense your lungs, yet no air fills them. You feel, you can see, but yet there is nothing to behold. Utter nothingness is the best way to describe it. Yet though you feel nothing, your mind still remains, replaying the memories of your painful final moments in vivid detail, every failure, every memory of the life you had before. The nothingness is maddening, frightening, and utterly crushing, and the questions that run through your head of whether this is punishment or truly it is all that there is. The questions of why, how, whether of not this is something that you deserved. Were you truly so terrible? To be stuck in this limbo, rack your mind like a blade across a chalkboard, your thoughts only halted by a voice behind you. Like an understanding and soft whisper whose words you cannot understand, yet you can sense at least the meaning of them. The words as though whoever spoke them knows the pain you feel, the nothingness you're experiencing. And with a final whisper, a choked and ragged cough breaks from your lungs as your senses return to you. You sense grainy and chalky feelings of sand beneath your cheek and the cold chill of a shoreside breeze. And the sound of flowing water, your admiration of your returned senses, only interrupted as you feel a sharp pinch upon your body, jolting you awake as you sit up, and in doing so startling the long-beaked and strange black-feathered multi-eyed creatures or avians that seem to have thought you dead, and your riling sending them into a full retreat to the arches along the cavern walls. Your eyes blinking as they took in the sight before you. It was as though you were at the black sanded shore of a great pool of water that fills this massive cavern chamber. The great pools of water holding a brackish blue color that lets off a glow that gives bright illumination to the entirety of this massive chamber. This massive pool is also fed by dozens of rivers that flow into the same water, fed into it around the chamber, one of which flowing right beside you. The pool itself is also pierced by great shards of bluish-black crystals that pierce up from the water, sporadically emitting a similar solemn light, and along with it an icy-like mist that hovers above the water's surface. Yet such a spectacle was hardly to compete with the spectacle of what had just occurred. You can breathe once more, and your heart is beating beneath your chest. You see no immediate difference in your skin, or besides now a standing crack-like mark upon where you had been dealt your finishing blow. Proof of what had happened before. It seems you have returned to life once more. As to the why and how, you know little. Yet it seems you are not alone in such confusion, as beside you see other individuals seemingly just as confused as you. The first of which that we will begin with is you, Noah. If you would like to describe, give a name, both to yourself and to your character, and then a brief description of what you're doing and visual description.
Of course. My name is Noah. I'll be playing Tora. And Tora's a young man, you'd say about in his higher teens. He has long black hair that's tied up back up in a ponytail. He's currently wearing a short robe of sorts. It's cut off like a t-shirt is, and only goes about to his knees. It's covered in green leaves and windy white spirals in a way. And he has a black belt. He has sandals. He has bandages on his arms and across his chest area. where like normally like a V-neck would kind of be, but he doesn't want to show off his chest like that, so he has some bandages there. And he has a little satchel on his side, and he has black eyes. That's it for me.
Okay, awesome. Moving on to the next in the order, which I believe is you, Alex.
All right, I am Alex. I'm going to be playing Corin. He's an investigator. He is an elf tiefling with like a bluish gray hue to his skin, blue eyes, and kind of a bit distinct for being a tiefling. He has like crystalline ice-like horns that sprout out from his head. He wears a kind of like a duster overcoat. It's nice and padded, probably pretty warm. On his back, he's got a nice backpack slinged over and a bow also slinged. It's like a metal like compound bow kind of meme. He has a short sword sheathed at his hip, and then all over he's got like different pouches and things. And yeah, that's Corin.
Awesome. Next up is you, Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello everyone. My name is Daniel, and my character's name is Gowan. And Gowan is a human male, roughly about 30 years old, you'd guess. He's fairly tall, like maybe 6'4". Got medium length brown hair. He's got a nice mustache on his lip and scratchy beginnings of a beard underneath that. Right now, most of his features are covered because he's clad from head to toe in this plate armor that's pretty worn out. It's covered in scratches, pretty worn, has seen better days. And he has his usual backpack, a rather long sword strapped to his back, and yeah.
Next up is you, Seth.
Hello, I'm Seth, and my character is Genuine Bird Eye, the Tengu Rogue, or Kenku, I think, but Tengu for Pathfinder 2 He's got a nice darker cloak, traditional, and at his side he carries a cane, and around where like the beak forms, there's a bit of white paint, like dyed onto his feathers where beak meets, feathers. Not a lot else to his name, but yes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Cool. And last but not least, Maxwell.
So I am playing a Ratfolk Druid, whose name is Knick. You can see that his fur is pretty much all black. He's got small little beady eyes that are green in color, and you can see that he has almost like this shoddily like quilted together armor that he's wearing, as well as a wooden shield on his hip. And you can see that there is a hole in his armor right above where his left thigh is. And just below that you can see almost like a little bit of a white marking there. But for the most part he just has just black fur, and he's pretty greasy as well. It looks like he hasn't bathed in quite some time.
Alrighty. Well, that is our party for this this campaign. Thank you guys. Regardless, I got a little chopped up on the description, but essentially you guys are all awaking on this basically sandy shore. Strangely, you still possess all of your armaments or otherwise that you had on your person from your last known memories, but you now are sitting and awaking upon this ashy black shore that is basically beside this massive, almost like glowing aquifer. The water is this strange, almost like brackish blue coloration that seems to become much darker the deeper you look into it. It shows no sign of a bottom. The only signs of objects within the water are these massive standing, almost like stalagmite, like crystals that kind of break from the base of the water's surface and kind of spear up towards the ceiling. that the crystals themselves releasing a similar light as the water, as well as almost like seeping off this like almost like frosty like mist that just kind of tops over the water's surface. However, the entire chamber seems to be surrounded by dozens of different like small streams, or almost like that vary in size, or rivers that kind of seem to flow downward into the central aquifer. Similarly, all these like holes in the cavern wall where these rivers flow out from are decorated nearby the similar shores. However, you see, as far as you can tell immediately, there are no other like individuals along the shores besides yourselves. As for other creatures within the chamber, you do notice, kind of looking around and kind of rubbing at the portions where they kind of nipped at, are these roughly about small dog-sized avian creatures. They kind of look like very large crows. However, their feathers are like this almost like blackish blue coloration. They seem to have a set of 6 eyes, 3 on each side of their skull, as well as very long, wide beaks. However, what looks to be a pair or seem to be sitting atop the cavern wall, just kind of like looking at you. However, whatever other ones were around you seemed to flutter off when you startled them by getting up. But beyond that, there's no immediate other descriptives in the area. The most notable of which is the individuals around you.
As Corin finds consciousness in this cavern, he's just kind of gonna like slowly pick himself up, and he's gonna like reach into his coat pocket. He's gonna pull out a journal and just start writing in it. As he kind of he looks around and he looks at the different things around him, and he's just gonna slowly scribble as he watches the others stir.
Okay.
Tora's waking up. I'm gonna look around my surroundings and.
As soon as Gowan gets up, he notices the other people. He just kind of slowly scoot away back to the edge of the cavern.
I'm gonna kip up.
Okay. You kind of like hop up onto the sand, and although for its strange coloration, it's not like ash or anything like that. It's just a strangely colored sand. It seems like finer than any like sand you've been around. Like I don't know if everyone here has been around like sand, but generally it's kind of like chalky and kind of crunches underfoot. This is like you're standing on like literally like an extremely like fine like grain. It's like soft and doesn't necessarily like stick at all. It just kind of like slides. You know, like the fake sand that's in like hourglasses and stuff is like the best way to describe it. It's like smaller than like sand, but regardless.
Fine sand.
Fine.
What is this place?
Oh, my head.
Who are you?
Ah,
After you say.
I don't remember walking into this place. Nice to meet you all. It's a pleasure. Genuine hops to his feet and gives a very gracious bow towards the people he's facing.
Connect just kind of like, sort of like, starts like feeling over himself to see if this is like real, and then like goes over towards his left thigh and sees that there's a hole in it, and just kind of like looks shocked at it.
I'm still just staying on the sidelines looking at everyone.
I guess the thing that
So did
also
you-
is probably obvious with Corin is that there is. I imagine my clothes didn't repair. During
No,
the
your
sequence.
clothes
So
are
there
still. Any damage your equipment suffered is still there.
So there's probably 3 very prominent like puncture wounds on a diagonal in his chest that are glowing palely because of revenant stuff.
May I ask all your names real quick? I like to get around a bit. Maybe I recognize you. I don't know. I'm a little off my head.
You can see
lively
me.
bunch.
I should be dead. I was just laying in a field bolt in my chest and a bolt in my gut. Is there still? Oh, as I look down and like see like my chest now, where there's like the similar kind of like puncture wound and like the glowing cracks and marks.
Yeah.
And it's, like take off my belt and stuff, and I see like there's one where like my gut is too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I don't know if you already mentioned it, but the bird talking to you, your familiarity with the Kenku race is very sparring. You've seen them, especially in your experience, but he seems to have, and you're welcome to correct me on this if I'm wrong, genuine. However, he also seems to possess a glowing mark that just goes all the way around his.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Oh, my apologies.
I thought it was kind of in the way.
No, you can't really hide them that well, but
Okay.
they.
Genuine kind of like grasps his neck and like.
It's all there.
Yeah.
There is a strange like wincing pain that comes from like touching it though.
I feel like I have something stuck in my throat. I don't know about the rest of you, but name's Genuine Birdeye. Connoisseur of the finer arts of the cities, if you will. And who do I make the acquaintance of around here? You seem like an eclectic amount of folk.
Wow.
Tora is my name.
It's fine to meet you, Tora. Seem to have a
Nice to
whole
meet you, too.
problem over there.
Yeah. Where are we?
I have yet to figure that one out. But I don't. Do any of you other three have an idea where we are?
No, not at all.
I'm at a loss.
If anybody is trained in occultism, or this is a secret test though, so I was just. So I take it.
I am.
You are.
I'm trained.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trained as well.
All right. First, I'll go for you, Gowan. The modifier is a 5, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You guys can keep going. I'll just interrupt when.
I have to go back.
Well,
If I'm not dead, then I have to go back.
go back to being dead? It seems like a
No,
bad time.
home. I have to go home.
Wow.
I think they need me there.
Man.
But where?
I imagine you're a long way from home.
Gowan, your knowledge of exactly what is going on, as your previous memories were indisputably of the end of your life, and this, even if in the miraculous case that you somehow survived, the markings around your neck make you all the more doubting of the situation. However, you have no idea as to where exactly you are. Corn, on the other hand, you, although have very little knowledge on the interworkings or exactly the details of it. However, you have had the pleasure of hearing documented recordings or questionings of individuals that are under the classification of revenants, due to the principle that revenants, at least in seem to possess a location beyond the norm, where, as with the fewer numbers of them, it's almost as though if you will, an ancestral home, as revenants are classified as a different race, though not entirely, but generally they are grouped differently. However, as sorts to your knowledge, you do understand that revenants come from a location, or at least are derived from a location known as the Misted Isle. This is fully from the reports of, or the quotation of, or quote of a Revenant's questioning, but as for exactly where you are within this, if this is the Misted Isles, you are unsure.
Well, Tora, I do think we're probably somewhere in the Misted Isles. Oh, Corn, by the way.
Corn?
Corin.
I apologize, Corin. I did not mean to offend in any way.
I'm not sure about your knowledge of the world around us, but do you know something known as revenants?
Oh, the dead people, yes. Wait.
Only name. Not much more.
Well, look at the scarring on your chest. I think that's proof enough.
Oh, well, this is a turn of events, it is. Well, I thank you for the information, Corin. Telling us what we are, at least, is one step on the figuring out of what next.
Listen, you
Next,
can't
I
be
imagine-
serious, can you? You're saying that we're revenants?
I do believe so. I don't know about you, but I definitely met my end, and here I am.
Yeah, I, too, met my end. Someone got a little too friendly with a sharp axe. Little awkward in the end, but, we make things work. We're here,
So-
I guess.
What exactly is a revenant?
Revenant, so they cheated death in some way. You die, and someone brings you back. I think it's related to the Witch of Night or something like that. Not too sure. No one really knows the cause.
So we are dead.
I can add another
No,
thing to the
we
list
were.
of things we cheated.
Not dead anymore.
Well, I guess moving on past that. This Misted Isles, is this? Where are we in terms of the world?
Probably not of the world, at least not as you've seen it before.
I feel
This is
like
our
we're
new homeland.
Well,
New home?
Never did. I never did like my home. I'm a wandering bird, if you will. Fly the coop style. I'm wondering if I could find a boat if we're on the Isles, and maybe we could find a way back to the mainlands.
So,
Or at least
Corin,
someone I know.
Corin, my apologies. My name is Knick. Do you know if there is, like, open, fresh air here? I mean, from what I
Not
can
in the
see right
cavern,
now,
no.
it doesn't look like it.
Do any of you see the vaguely resembling creepy dog-sized birds up in the cavern roofs, or is that just me imagining dead ancestors?
Oh,
I've been eyeing them, but I'm not sure if I know where they are.
Genuine
I might
look.
be able
Like,
to know.
how far away are the six-eyed birds?
They're about 40 feet up the cavern wall, kind of sitting on like an outcropping, just kind of watching.
I
Genuine
recall
takes a-
knowledge and try
Uh,
and see what these birds are.
absolutely. What's your nature modifier?
My nature modifier is a 7.
can I try to recall the knowledge on these birds if I know what they are?
What's your modifier in nature?
12.
12.
Damn.
Flexing.
You both get the same amount of information. As you recognize these creatures as deep crows. They are subterranean scavengers. Largely, they consume parasitic or insects within caverns or otherwise. They're pretty widespread creatures. However, they are, or I shouldn't say that they are widespread necessarily. They are a genuinely or generally difficult species to come across, as they have very few numbers, as well as the fact that they are like generally in the you would only come across like one or two bystander within Gothric, as they're not necessarily endangered, but they are very few in number, and seeing so many here is an oddity.
Oh,
But they're
genuinely-
relatively harmless. Oh no, that was my bad. They're relatively harmless to living creatures. They generally, unless starving, will not attack.
Genuine, like, he like tries to go to the wall. He takes like a real close look and says,
My grandma, what many eyes you have!
I remember hearing fables about these. Deep crows is what we used to call them. I
Well,
didn't think they actually existed. Well, I don't know about that still. I don't know what's going on here.
seems a little weird for me. I've never seen a bird that didn't appreciate the sky, but deep crows, that's a odd name.
Wonder how deep we are.
Yes, that's probably a good question now that I think about it. How do we get out of here?
And before that, Mr. Iron Man over there.
Oh,
believe-
yes.
You've been quite quiet against that.
Alright. I apologize. I don't know any of you people, so forgive me for keeping my distance, but you can call me Gowan.
Well, a stranger's just a friend you haven't met yet, Gowan. Come here. I would like to shake your hand.
This
I walk up to him.
small Kenku kind of scampers up to you.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot to describe it earlier, but I am wearing a helmet, like a full helmet, the kind with the visor, and it's up right now. And when you see my face up close, you can see that my eyes are sunken as hell, and there's like massive bags underneath them. But anyway,
Well,
it's my pleasure.
you look like a tired son of a knight. But, you know, I think you're good people. Now, how do we get out of here?
Yeah. Is it dark in here?
It is not. It is bright light in this chamber. However, you do notice that the corridors in which the water is kind of flowing down into this main chamber do become dim light. It is bright light in here because the massive body of water seems to irradiate this this almost like bluish twilight glow across the entirety of the chamber.
Is that our only option for like leaving this chamber? Is down this river?
You don't necessarily have to walk in the water, but there are other corridors around the pool. You would just need to either like swim through the water to get to them, or to like scale across the wall, because the it is not like a perfect like wraparound of like the almost like shorings. It is like small shorings where the rivers kind of come in, and then like rocky outcroppings that kind of like wall them off from each other, if you will. Or natural formations that kind of like interject between the two. However, there are no obvious staircases or like man-made structures within the chamber.
I suppose we should get out of here.
You want to take Scary Path A, Scary Path B, or the relatively friendly-looking Scary Path C? Because I do not know which to choose.
Which one was Scary Path A?
Genuine starts kind of spinning around randomly.
That one.
He points randomly at one.
That one looks like a Scary Path A to me.
Well, I don't think there's a reason to choose a path without any have to think about it. I think you just go in the first one. Scary Path A.
Well, I like being right. What say the others here? Would you like to stick by me and Tora? We're making our way down a path. We don't know if it's out, but we want to be away.
You know, you're awfully upbeat, Kenku. Don't you realize that, at least according to that man, that we've all just died?
Well, I've cheated a lot in my life for a lot of various reasons. Cheating death's just another one to the list. Besides, I got things to do, and being dead would be a little off-putting to finishing some of these things. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm getting out of here.
Yes, I agree. Let's get out of here.
With that, Genuine starts making a little pronounced marching towards Scary Path A, which is a randomly chosen corridor that I don't really remember picked.
Genuine.
Ah, yes, Kinnick. What can I do for you?
As he starts to walk towards the one of these smaller side corridors that just kind of like is pitch black.
Yes.
Would you like a light at all?
Well, I do like to see sometimes, but I was just gonna feel my way, because I have no light-giving sources at the moment.
Oh,
It all blinded, but...
Do you
I
have
can go.
a small object that you can carry?
Genuine pats himself down, and then, real quickly, flings out and starts flicking around his finger a Tengu Gale Blade.
I have this fancy thing here.
And starts spinning it around, doing little
Well,
finagling.
if you could just hold it still real quick. I don't want to cut myself on it,
Okay.
but I
I hold
can give it a glow. Do you have any special color preferences?
Well, I'm partial to black, but I don't think that would make good light. But, creator's preference, if you will.
Okay. Well, just hold the blade still there. Let me do something real quick, and then it should be a nice blue color. And as you can see, he starts to almost like pull out some of the try to suck some of the light from the room, and kind of like put in that blue essence of light into the sword. And you can see now the sword is glowing with a 20-foot bright radius, and then 20-foot dim after that, as I'm casting light.
Oh, fancy. Just gonna do it all the time, because, that might be a little awkward. I don't really like to show
Yes.
my shiny
Well,
sword.
until I do that again to something else. Yes, it will stay like that.
Okay, well, I appreciate the gesture, Kinnick. Sorry. Would you like to join me and Tora on our adventure now? We're going that way.
Sure. We might all want to stick together though. Although I don't know you guys.
Scary Knight over there would like to walk on by. Maybe he could be helpful in
I don't see any other
the
options, so
boy.
I might as well.
As a
Mr. Detective, would you like to come?
He's already coming. He's just writing in his notebook, kind of scribbling down as he's walking along.
And then Genuine is marching towards the corridor.
as
which
you
is, Gale Blade
as you
Elbow
turn around to this smaller corridor, you're only greeted by now sitting on a small rocky outcropping one of the deep crows who sitting above him. There seems to be two more, but we wouldn't recommend that.
I should be less shocked being at Tinku, but hello. Bird as well as I.
Greetings.
And
as he says greetings, you hear from the other two above him just like, greetings.
Well, what did you
Such
say in the beginning there?
such a
Don't go.
strange group of dust children. You've had your souls given back to you. But this corridor, up above it, bad. Only down.
Hello, cousins. Do you have a recommendation for us? We're kind of new to the area. We could use a little expertise guide on these things.
Expertise? They all kind of like tilt their heads curiously as if they don't know what you're saying.
Of course, you've had to have been in these caverns for years. Would you happen to know a way
Yes,
away from the
yes.
caverns?
Yes.
Well, years, months, days. You've been here for a time. You might know the way.
It's true. We've been here for some time. So long as our duty provides.
So
What
not
is your duty?
To watch, to stay, to consume. Not dusk children, of course. Sometimes the waters wash up those whose soul did not come along with it. We pick those pieces apart and return it.
Ah,
We thought you were among them. However, we were wrong. As you kind of recall to them kind of picking away at you.
no.
Back on the original question, if you don't want us going down Scary Corridor A, which fancy hallway could you recommend for getting our way out of this bit of a cavernous crevice problem?
We know little of the words you speak. For this, we apologize. But for cavern, the safest is always follow the river.
Well, I feel like we have our heading, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They just kind of sit there. They don't seem to be the most conversational. Many of the words that you seem to say kind of go over their head. It seems they have a very specific goal.
Well,
Let's
Yes,
follow the river.
yeah, to the river, boys. I don't know if any of you can swim, because I sure can't.
It's not.
I fall in.
It's not really necessarily a river. It's more like a stream, a very shallow stream that carries this like dully glowing water, and it is flowing downwards. So, you would be walking downstream. No wait, upstream. My apologies. There is like room along the sides of it to like walk upon. So, though, if you want to walk in the water, you can try.
Connect is gonna take out a shield and equip it real quick.
Okay. So you're going to be doing the Ray Shield exploration action. Or whatever that's called. It's a thing, so.
Well, Genuine's just gonna stow his Gale Blade and start just casually walking towards the river with his cane, swinging it.
As we travel, I'm gonna hang back towards Corin, and we'll just go run away. And there's no
Yeah.
problem.
I'm gonna hang back just because I'm hanging back.
Oh,
So is
Same.
is anyone producing? Oh no, the Gale Blade is producing light, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of have that on one hand, and I'm walking with the cane in the other.
Okay. So as Genuine and Knick begin to kind of path their way down the corridor, Gowan, you kind of hang back with Corin, and I'm
I'll be like in the middle.
Tora, are you you
I'll be like
notice
in the
that
middle.
two kind of drag behind, but the other two are kind of moving forward. But it's not like you're gonna lose them. With the glowing sword, the path that they're walking seems to be rather straight.
Real quick, I wave back, "Bye, cousin. See you later." And then I make my way down.
Bye, cousin. See you later. Bye, cousin. See you later. Bye, cousin. See you later.
My cousins are parrots, apparently.
As it echoes through the corridor.
They're awkward.
If I see them lagging back, I'll kind of start slowing my pace down too.
Okay.
To be
Do you
like-
go back to him, or are you just like? Or is
just,
it
like,
is it like when your
slow.
friend kind of stops to tie a shoe and you're the homie that like stops for him?
Well, yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, I'll just stand still and I'll look back at
Mhm.
them. And I'll.
See,
if
we're
it starts
lagging
getting
back.
too-
because I say to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say something to Corin.
If it starts getting dark, I'll light a candle. But go ahead.
Genuine is not noticing; he's just walking.
You there, Corin?
Yeah.
Do you know why we're here? Is this some sort of divine punishment from the powers that be?
I mean, it could be. No one really knows.
Well, how are you coming to grips with the fact that you just died?
No, I'm not dead anymore.
Fair enough, but if I'm being honest, I would have been fine leaving everything behind. Not sure how I feel about being thrown back into the mix.
Look at it as a second chance then.
Because it's whatever we make of it. And I'll go back to the group.
Hello, you two.
Corin will still be slow, like in the back. He's not gonna like walk side by side with anyone.
Okay.
Unless someone walks back towards him to meet his pace.
Okay.
I'll wait for Gowan and then I'll keep on walking.
I'll also be
Genuine is leading the pack
like
with
7
flowing
feet behind
sword.
them too.
Yeah. Determinedly marching on.
Yeah,
Not hearing
25
anything.
movement speed.
Yeah, with the 25
Yep.
movement speed, we move.
I have to walk slower because I have a faster movement speed than you, Gowan.
I'm like moving like a robot. Then I'm like moving half speed.
It's like in Red Dead when the NPCs like when you have to like catch up to them.
Okay. You all kind of march along the side of this strange river. Those of you in the back are still walking in dim light. However, at the head of the marching order is your Kenku compatriot, valiantly kind of marching forward with his. Did you say blue glowing? You gave it a blue.
Yes.
Yeah. That seems to shimmer off of the cavernous walls around you. This stone corridor, although decorated by the enigmatic water that kind of flows throughout it, is also decorated by these strange crystalline growths along the chamber walls that are roughly about the size of a man's fists that just kind of protrude in random intervals that similarly shed a very small amount of light. Nothing enough to really like combat the darkness, but it is all very strange. However, as you seem to progress farther and farther down the corridor, I will say the moments that kind of pass are relatively dull. There's no silence within the corridor. The only break in your march is the occasional like drift of cold air that kind of comes down and sweeps throughout the passage, kind of chilling across your now regained senses. But ending this march is with our Kenku at the head of it. By the way, we're Kinnick, were you marching like beside Genuine? Like around
yeah.
him,
Either
I
that
guess,
or, like,
because
behind,
you're closer.
depending on how wide
Because to
it
my
is.
understanding, it's Genuine, Kinnick, Tora, Gowan, and Corn. There's like
Yeah.
a bit of a gap between.
I would have caught up with Tora after I was done talking to Corin.
Okay, and what about you, Corn?
I'm like 10 feet behind them.
Okay. So there's about a 15-foot or about a 20-foot gap between you and like the head two, but you've been mostly just staying behind the light. And although there's been a few twists and turns in the passages, it's nothing major. As with any underground water source, it seems that this entire passage was carved away by the water that kind of flows beneath it. However, at the first to kind of encounter the largest change in the passage is with you, Genuine and Connect, as you kind of bring yourself the light illuminating, as you see you are approaching a large break or cavern chamber, not anywhere near the chamber that you were in before that held the massive aquifer, but a large enough break from the rather like 10-foot wide or choked passage that you've been marking, or 10 to like 15-foot wide passage that you've been moving through up to this point. This chamber seems to be decorated in a few tall standing pillars that kind of stretch from the base all the way to the ceiling. The water continuing flow all the way back to the flattened off like wall, where it seems to pool at the base of now where a waterfall flowing from roughly about 20 feet up feeds this water in a torrent down into the pool where it pools and then seems to flow in the river that you've been walking past. your light kind of shining around the chamber, not enough to kind of illuminate the shadows of the room, but enough to kind of cast a glow throughout it. Catching your eye, not yours, Tora, or not Tora, my apologies, Kinnick. Sorry, I'm getting used to everybody's names. So, Kinnick, you can hear a lot of the sounds of your compatriots, though you can see that they're slowly making their way up to you. Is the sound of the waterfall, which isn't by any means deafening, but it is the loudest noise that's come across so far. Genuine, you kind of casting your light around the room seem to notice nothing out of the ordinary, but Kinnick, you notice a glint along the cavern wall to the right of you, across the small river that runs to your right, sitting beside a pillar. Although it seems to be a few forms that seem to be small, almost like cat-sized forms that seem to be lying motionless beside the pillar. Along with them, you can see a dull, almost like flickering glow that just seems to be coming around the pillar, just out of Genuine's point of view, but just within range as you've been tagging behind him slightly. But it seems to be emanating from one of these forms.
Genuine, hold up just 1 second here. And I'm gonna pull out just a little piece of chalk and cast light on that and put it back.
Put it back in your pocket, or?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
let it doesn't glow out.
Okay.
Shh, shh, shh. I think there might be people or something above. I saw just a glimpse of.
No, it's right to your right. It's only about 10
Oh.
feet. Sorry to correct you, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Kind of in darkness now, aren't we, though? Because you cast light on something else. I don't have my
Um,
glowy sword.
I'm not immediately sure if I'm pretty sure when you cast it again, it swaps, but
If you cast a spell on a second object, the light spell on the first object ends.
okay, yeah. So the light on your sword dissipates, and now there's it's just the same dim light because he has sheathed the chalk. You guys have now you guys at this point can kind of see the glow from the waterfall as you guys kind of come up. The two at the head now hearing the footsteps of those drawing closer.
Hey, what's going on up there?
I can't see anymore.
Kinnick just said he found something, and it seems real bad, so we're keeping it on the down low.
It seemed almost as if there were cats or something up there, and there seemed to be some sort of glow.
As he points it out, you all see the same small forms. Those of you with dim light see that these are the same feathered-like forms, now just lying there motionless. There is one large form of it, and then there seem to be there's two large forms of it, as well as there seem to be roughly about 4 or 5 smaller forms kind of scattered around it.
Deep crows?
They seem to be deep crows, one of which is emanating a small light from just somewhere beside his carcass. But they are motionless.
I want to put away my journal and pull out my bow and just kind of.
Yeah, I will also
We probably arm up.
draw my bastard sword. I'm
Did we
two-handed.
just talk to these crows earlier?
They look motionless.
Kinnick, I don't think we should be here. A cat versus a rat and a bird do not make me feel very confident.
Me neither.
Well,
Maybe there's another way out there. I can try to look to see if there's another.
The passage does seem to split to the left and right of the chamber. So it seems to split into a T.
So is this like a
The
big
river is no
chamber
longer
opened
connected.
up?
Yeah, it's a bigger chamber. It's opened up.
As I enter it, I would like to use my investigator feat. That's odd to notice one.
You did already notice it.
discrepancy. Was it that?
It was the
Okay.
corpses, yeah. You're not really close enough to observe them specifically. And there is a light emanating from one of them, but you don't really see the source of that light. It's very dull, very, very dull.
Yeah.
Kind of the same amount of light that his chalk that he casted the light on, how it's kind of glowing through his pant pocket or whatever he put it in.
Is there stray feathers around him? Like, does it look like something attacked them?
Um,
I have dark vision if that
oh,
matters.
then yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
There seems to be what looks to be a broken like nest, kind of crumpled to the side of it, along with a cluttering of feathers, and there seems to be blood kind of along. Or sorry, there's no blood.
I would like to, during the next minute as people are doing things, I would like to take the case on whatever ruffled this nest and caused this blood
Okay.
for the next minute as I parse through my mind doing my investigator stuff.
Well, that's
Can you
going
see
on.
fine?
I can't see a bloody thing in here, if I'm being honest.
Oh, sorry.
Can't either.
I forgot humans can't see in the dark.
Would you mind bringing that light back?
Yeah, yeah. As I whip out the chalk again. Do one of you want to hold it?
I can.
Here you go, Tora.
I don't have any blades or anything.
Thomas.
Yep.
Right before Kinnick pulls out the chalk, I'd like to start sneaking.
Would you like to take the hide action?
Yes.
Yeah, because sneaking is different. You have to hide and then you can sneak.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I like to take the hide action right before he whips out the chalk.
Because the way to think about it is like hide is where you like get behind something to like hide, and then sneaking is just moving while like remaining still.
Okay.
Because, alrighty. And as of right now, I'll assume or treat that like whenever you guys like suspect something is like around you, but you don't know for sure. For any like purposes that if a spell comes up and says it, like even if there's not actually anything there, but like if you have your character be like, I'm sus, that means that if there is a creature in that room, it is unnoticed and not undetected. Because undetected means you have no fucking idea. You know what I mean? But for example,
Okay. Yeah.
Undetected means that you didn't really think there was danger.
Yeah. It's like if you didn't know there was any danger and then it jumps you. Unnoticed is you think there's something, but you don't know like where it is at all.
Edge.
Yeah, it's basically
Paranoid and everything.
yeah. But yeah, nothing immediately is outstanding right now. But yeah, you can go ahead and make a wait. Is hide a secret check? I don't know.
I think it is.
I mean, I'll let you do it, but
hide
at
is-
least I'll let you do it this time. But
The first roll of the campaign that we do, I think.
yeah.
Okay, rolling 80-20.
First roll, let's go.
What do we?
12.
We got a 12. Oh
Yes.
boy. All right.
That's a natural one for all you
Yeah,
viewers at home.
natural one, so it does the crit fail thing where it goes down one step.
As you begin to you kind of like try to move over, but you just kind of like trip over like a rock, but just kind of like hold still by the pillar, just kind of hoping. Even though like half the party kind of like looks over to you, but you're pretty sure that they don't know you're there.
That is for my game.
But no, is anybody wanting to go like investigate the corpses or go to a path or the water? I guess you guys are all just kind of like standing at the like the lip of the tunnel you've been walking through before it like widens out into this thing,
Did like Corin say he was gonna investigate it?
Corn's investigating from afar. He doesn't need to like touch it, I don't believe.
But he like say he did? Because otherwise I'm gonna inch a bit like further into.
No, you just see Corin as he kind of like slacks his bow. You can just see him just look at them, and he kind of like darts around and looks at different areas of the room.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really saying anything.
I'll move like 10 feet into the room. And see if I
Like
can
towards
get,
the dudes, or like where, I guess, because it goes straight, because directly out of the passage is the waterfall, which is about 20 feet away from the passage door. These like this group of carcasses and the light around them is roughly about like 10 feet to the right of the door, but you guys are on the left side, so
Okay. I'll go towards the waterfall.
Okay. You you kind of start to make your way towards this pooling of the water. It's not nearly as radiant as the massive aquifer that came before, but there is a slight calmingness to the slight ripple as the water from above kind of falls into it and hits it, as it seems to, just from glancing at it, seems to be relatively thicker than standard like water. But there's nothing outwardly strange of it.
There's nothing strange but the waterfall.
Is there any other actions, like, for example, Corin? And I know right now, this is technically, if I'm using the turn things, the exploration action that you took. Well, this would technically switch over to. I'm never going to be mentioning this, but technically this is in encounter mode. But since you guys like stopped and are like doing stuff, but
Genuine would just like to unsheath from his staff, his cane. He'd unsheath the
yeah.
small blade.
Oh,
Gallon
I
is there.
sense direction.
Don't you need to be able to see the stars for that?
I have a compass.
Oh, that. When you look at your compass, this is probably going to be a bit strange, but when you look at your compass, it's just spinning.
What is this place? Gowan, look at this.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not surprised. This place is crazy.
It's not home, that's for sure. I'll put the compass away.
And with my turn, I'm just going to hold the vanguard at the back and look behind us to see we're not being snuck up on using the seek action.
Okay. Go ahead and pick. Do you want to use the cone into the tunnel behind you, or do you want to pick like a specific
Yeah, I'll
area?
do my
Yeah.
for the cone.
Okay. So go ahead and make a. I'll let you do the roll for this, and you're doing it down the corridor behind you.
Yeah, just minus. Do I just drag my perception? Oh, okay,
You can just click on it.
there we go. 14.
14. Okay. As you're kind of like looking down the corridor, nothing immediately seems to be standing out. Thankfully, with a bit of light being shed from the chalk, it kind of aids in your search as you're kind of looking down, but it seems all clear in the back of that. However, Tora, as you're kind of like looking into the pool of water once more, and although there's a strange somberness to it, it's near almost slightly like the structure of like a waterfall kind of like coming down reminds you of some of these structures or creations within your old home, at least in how they set up aqueducts and otherwise. However, as you're kind of looking into the ripples of the water, you do notice a strange movement in the reflection. A drip of some liquid above the pillar where your Kenku compatriot still sits upon.
Genuine move.
What?
As you begin to call out, you see this strange, almost disgustingly large slug-like creature begin to come into a rapid descent from the ceiling, with a bellowing like as it just falls down. Genuine, you being startled by this, but not entirely surprised at the immediate warning of your compatriot. I will need you to make a reflex saving throw.
Whoa. Check what my modifier is. Pretty sure it's hot.
At the end of this, the rest of you guys can go ahead and roll initiative, as this will be the first combat.
Is this a perception initiative?
This is perception initiative.
That is a 26.
26. You do indeed manage to, with the warning of your compatriot, just in time roll out of the way as this disgusting like slam of this creature who just its entire like soft and almost like blubberous body collides with the stone floor with a clap. Frustrated, it seems to lift itself up as it seems to be this almost like massive slug-like creature, its skin a pallid pale, adorned by 4 sets of these almost like spear-like appendages that kind of ripple and kind of twitch like an insect's. The only things that mount its cylindrical head is a large circular mouth filled with rows and rows of teeth and two beady eyes, black orb eyes that just kind of stare into you. And at this similar time, you hear another hiss from from another location within the room. And with that, we will be rolling initiative.
Whoa!
Did I get the minute required for my pursue a lead?
I will say sure.
Yes. It logged in my head.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
That's poggeroni with cheese.
Hit him with
I
the
wish you-
pod, boys.
I wish I could open the astral thing as like another tab, not like another window.
I like that. In my first 3 checks, I got a 1, a 15, and a 2.
Pretty
I got a
good so
1 on
far.
my first check, so
Nice.
And he's kind of nutters.
I'm really establishing myself. Oh, baby. A man.
Ooh.
Once again, the monster falls on Seth.
There's a map?
I see a map.
Look.
Where is your name, dude? There he is.
Oh, there we go. Hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
in
not.
the middle
You're
of the
not.
square.
You're not in your right spot. Hang on. I'm moving.
Yeah, are we supposed to be on the middle
I'm
point?
the slug that just landed on Genuine.
Yeah.
I'm with the gal.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
Oh wait. I guess genuine. You are right here. And that boy. Oops.
Imagine having light to see.
What's the range on the chalk?
Made by the Dark Vision game.
I have the chalk. And it's 20 feet.
20 feet bright, 20 feet dim. Same as a torch.
Oh,
Oh boy.
That's a bright ass piece of chalk.
Fucking blinding my eyes.
Yeah.
Wait, are attacks of opportunities in this
Oh.
game? Am I gonna get
They
flanked?
are,
has to
but
see
they're
in front of
limited.
It depends on the creature.
Nick, or Knick, you were Nick. My
Got
apologies.
the apostrophe and everything.
heck.
Gallon, would you say you're like in the middle portions of the room?
I was looking back towards the tunnel that we came
Oh
out of.
yeah. I'll put you by Corin then. And then Knick. Actually, I'll put you right here.
Oh, hello there, Galen.
And then Knick, I will say
Oh.
you were just vibing right here.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Well, I need to.
It's a big boy.
He
That-
is.
That's a big ass dude.
That's a big ass boy.
And you just dodged him.
I hit him with the hot 26
I-
reflex.
They surprisingly, for being such big boys, rolled really high on their stealth check. The only person-
Boys.
Hey.
Didn't he describe two?
Yeah, I think I
What?
described the second
Yeah.
one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't think
Don't know where
you
he
don't.
is.
Yeah, you don't see him yet, but you heard him.
He's glooping up there.
He's
Slooping.
sklooping.
Glooping and glooping.
Can I have All right, Corin. What was your initiative roll?
17.
Got this pencil. 17. Gowan.
26.
Yuck.
Genuine.
I got a 10.
Bick. Kinnick.
I got a 12. Wait, you got a 10 with your modifiers?
did you add your
Yeah.
perception? Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 and I thought I did bad.
Perception than I
I'm
did.
I'm sorry. What'd you roll, Kinnick?
12 with
Okay.
a 1, natural 1.
Okay, Tora.
I have a 20.
All right. And then for these boys,
What happened to music?
I paused it while I was doing initiative, but I will put it back on.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. They're gunning to kill.
All right.
So am I.
Is that everybody's on the map though? Correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
except for the second one.
Yeah, you can't see him yet. So. You'll be able to see him on the VOD.
Is
This
he
one-
in darkness?
You can see it.
I can see it.
Everybody that's not within 20 feet of Tora is in dim light. Because dim light and dim light doesn't make it bright light. It's just
Don't you
Dark
mean bright
vision.
light
if you have
or
dark vision or
for us?
low light vision, you're good. I think the
Hell
only
yeah.
Genuine, do you have low light vision or?
I do have low light vision, yes.
I think okay, Gowan, you're the only guy who has to worry about this.
Even when I'm right next to him.
If somebody wants to do me a favor, I'm pretty sure I know dim light is I think I can't remember if it's partial cover or if it's the chance to miss, but
I think it might like make
I
the
don't
dude
have to worry
concealed, and that might have something. Or maybe
yeah, I know concealment gives them like a chance to like miss.
Come on, Archives and Ethos, work fast.
Because I just
It's been
want some.
slow today for me.
They have the
Pull the
concealed
light out.
condition unless they have dark vision or low light.
And concealment is
Concealed.
an
25%
attacking
to
concealed
miss.
creature.
Oh no, it's a DC something flat check.
DC 5 flat check.
Yep.
Oh, you're good.
25% chance of miss. Easy.
What was I? There's one thing I need to do.
Roll above it.
Oh, their initiative. I gotta get used to because
Y'all
I
got
have
ones.
my notes on this, so we gotta.
I love
They
drinking.
don't have
so
eyes,
an
they have no
identified
perception.
thing.
In here, here's some a great tap water.
Yeah, I need it. I need to rip off this sticker. Where's my bottle? Where's my box cutter? Let's try and not cut the plastic. There we go. I love water. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't
no
Nestle
company.
own water?
Wow.
yeah.
I don't have anything.
Gotta
No,
be
they own
denying it as
water.
a human right.
Bottles that hold
Oh.
water.
Water is not a human right. That's a good one.
Listen, I'm not sure if we could say that on recording, guys. Nestle's
No.
gonna.
We're
We
not
didn't
sponsored
say
by
that.
Nestle.
Oh,
Not
no.
sponsored by Nestle.
they're gonna sue us for
Nope.
defamation. Oh no.
And libel. That one's always tacked on top as well.
But it's true though.
Well, libel's the written one, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
We're
Do
fine.
we, I don't think we have like a transcript.
Let me
of
write
this,
it down.
so I think
Someone's
we're
gonna
good.
transcript our words and then we'll get sued for libel.
Someone
So that's their
Well,
fault
they
for
get
libel.
yeah, they get sued for
The
libel.
YouTube captioning.
Yeah, YouTube captioning. Does that mean YouTube's at fault?
I think so.
YouTube is
Just
never
kidding.
at fault.
YouTube is our Lord and Savior. They're
Love
the
YouTube.
ones that let us host this great podcast.
Love 'em.
I don't think
Make
we're
sure
better
to
than
hit that
this.
subscribe button. It should be in the bottom right of the underneath the video.
And
Please.
the bell notification.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like
We have, like,
as soon as
like,
everyone's just like, yeah, we're gonna subscribe, and then they get to this point in the video, and then we're like, nah, and then just
Yeah, dude. That's how everyone goes. Everyone's YouTube channel is like, you didn't even ask me to subscribe, so I did it anyway.
Yeah.
What an awesome guy.
what an awesome guy. Alrighty. Technically, you guys are not surprised. But so starting us off is
Are
Gowan.
you okay, Max?
It's my turn.
Yeah. You hear this massive, like, this disgusting, like, clap. Like baloney hitting, like, a tile floor. As this creature slams into it and its viscous oils kind of suction to the ground as it kind of lifts itself up in the darkness. You can see its large form kind of shift and growl towards Seth. Or Genuine, my apologies. But nonetheless, Gowan, it is your turn starting us off. You have 3 action
In response to this, he's gonna be a little taken aback, and then he's gonna say, "No, now, not now," and then all of a sudden, he's gonna start to shake violently, causing his armor to rattle, and then so all of a sudden, he's gonna go limp, slouching forward, causing the visor on his head to slam shut, and then all of a sudden, this deep, dark shadow, even dark compared to the surroundings of our environment here, begins to cling to his armor, every inch of it, and then. Corin, you can see since you're right next to me, this wispy black smoke begin to escape in the cracks from his armor. And then, after being motionless for a second, he turns back up, and then you can see that in his visor, where his eyes were, is just a red glow. The anime red eye meme, basically.
He's
And
the
then- Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
no. I forget that guy from like Dark Souls 2. That's like got the like red visor claw.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
got the
I'm
Elite
kidding.
Knight helmet on,
No, no.
and then he's got his broadsword, and he's just
Yeah.
he's growling in place, and then with his next 2 actions, he's gonna let out a bestial growl and then charge at this war monster using sudden charge.
I believe you need to. Is it? Oh no, sudden charge isn't the actual charge action. It's just
I could just
stride.
move and then it hit, but I want to use my class feature.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There you
He's
go.
like 2 squares away.
Well, you move.
You
There
could
you are.
flank him, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, can I flank him?
Yeah, it is 2 strides. So,
Yeah, so I'll get around to the.
I will. I will. So I'll help you out here because he. Do you want to go like forward and around the pillar, or do you want to take the long way around? Which one?
Well, if the long way around's better, I think I can afford to do that because it would be 50 feet of movement.
Ooh. Okay. There's
no one
there's
anchoring.
not a way to. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you. Would you like to go here or here?
Just wherever he's flanking with.
So right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Then I'll stab him with my bastard sword.
Okay. Rushing behind this creature, you are seeing its shapes, the light and glow from Tora from behind you. You come in with this bestial growl and thrust. I will roll the
Damn.
flat check for you.
I don't think
Wow.
that's anyway.
What was your hit?
11 hit.
11.
Yeah,
You
natural
do
one.
indeed manage to slam into the creature. However, your blade just seems to slip off of its hide, kind of greasing, kind of sliding across its blubberous body, as though it's not armed with thick scales or otherwise. It's just so nearly amorphous that it just kind of can adjust its body to impacts. So your blade just kind of slides across it. So I believe that was 2 action points to sudden charge, correct?
Yeah, 2 action points. That's
Okay.
what I tried to see. Yeah, I'm good now.
I believe you can attack again, but with penalty.
Ragey.
I
Rage
used
in
the
action?
razor.
Oh, rage is 1? Okay, thank you.
That was right. And I have 5 temp HP now. If I don't know if that's.
Oh no, you just keep that in mind, and then I'll deduct that.
I'll
So
just, yeah, subtract the next damage.
okay.
Actually,
What's up?
I'm pretty sure you could, if you go to your edit character sheet, you could change the first value, just add 5 to it, and that would probably count.
Well, let's see if he gets hit. Tora, you are up next, the first one to call out the danger of these creatures, and now you hear the blubberous growl from another one to your left, looking away from the pool. I guess I'll ping so you can kind of know, but there is a hidden creature in this area
Well.
Oh,
on the ceiling somewhere.
okay.
Hidden just means you know generally where they are, but you can't see them.
Okay, I will. I'll use my first action to
I believe that's
focus myself for a little bit. As you see, if anyone was looking at me, which I don't think they are probably, 3 well, how many claws do cats have?
They have 5.
They
don't
got
they?
4 and then their thumb.
Got the little
Four?
weird knobby one down here.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll just use all for my fingers. You see that these kind of orange mystical claws come out of both my hands, as well as 2 kind of tiger ears come up on my head, and there's a tail too, if you could probably see it, as I use my tiger stance. Cha. And then I will seek up in that direction.
You gotta choose
that creature.
but do you have dark vision or anything?
I have the bright light thingy. I don't know how much that helps.
Oh, it does not illuminate that area, but I'd say it's technically dim light around where he is, so you can seek. So that is a perception check. I'll roll it for you right now. Your modifier. You do see. I wish I could hide it just to. Actually, I might be able to.
Well, because I'm gonna do the point out action anyway.
Oh, right after this? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
combine the
right
2?
after.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because you
that's
do
fine,
see
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Okay. So. Open.
And then I'll be like, "There's one over here." And I'll
Does point out make it observed or just hidden?
point.
Let me.
Because I think if it's hidden to the people, it becomes observed. If it was undetected, it becomes.
The creature is hidden rather than undetected.
Okay.
says.
But I think if
Yeah,
it was
was he-
hidden,
was he
it
undetected?
becomes observed. And since, okay, so I'll leave its profile here. So this is the last known location of where it was. To everyone but you, Tora. So it's observed to you.
Oh, you're dying a bit.
Am I dying? What's going on?
Well,
A little
a
chunky.
little bit, but so
That's because I
it's
have
observed.
astral up. So
Is observed to.
observed. You can see it. That.
Okay. Okay, cool. And that ends my turn.
Okay. Next up in the turn order is going to be. Oh, I shouldn't have done it. Raising its head in a vicious kind of like growl. You can see as it kind of like flexes its maw, genuine. Its like teeth and its circular maw just kind of spin and kind of like rotate with it. Its entire body kind of riling and jiggling with the strike that came from behind it. But even so, it uses that momentum to lunge at you.
Please, please, no.
Uh,
Not another bird gets fucked in combat. No.
Stop being a bird, bro.
Fucking. Yeah.
That's the problem here.
First attack is going to be a 19.
Misses.
Misses just barely. You're able to pull yourself out of the way as its jaw kind of like tries to slam on into you and just kind of suctions to the ground beside you. But as it roars its head back, it's going to attempt to bite at you again with the multiple attack penalty and misses.
Yay.
And then it is going to use a movement action or the stride action to. Does anyone have attack of opportunity? Or
Nope.
Gowan?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Not yet.
Next up in the turn
How
order.
are you planning to take it?
Next up in the turn order after that is going to be Kinnick. Oh, I'm
Is it?
sorry, I lied to
No,
you.
it should
Yeah,
be
it's
Corrin
Corrin.
before
Yeah, it's
me.
Corrin.
Alright, as Corrin watches this creature in front of him, he's going to analyze it, and he's going to use his devise a stratagem.
I forgot
as he
to
tries.
put it on the battle map. Sorry about that, fellas.
A very good roll. But I get a free recall knowledge against it.
You get a free recall knowledge against the creature? For
Every time I use devise a stratagem, I get to recall knowledge as part of that action. And if I crit succeed, me and if I want my allies get a +1 to hit. But then also I get the recall knowledge. So
Okay, what's your modifier?
for what?
Oh, sorry,
I
for,
post my
for nature.
modifiers in all of them. It's a 7.
Oh, and then you add the 2 to it?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, is this part of? Does my lead apply here?
This is not the dude. Or at least I guess I don't know, like, because it doesn't immediately become obvious that it's the dude. Is that?
Yeah.
I guess like if you get your recall knowledge on it, you'll be able to. I'll try to include it into that, but
Alright.
however, with a 16, you do not succeed in. Oh wait, that's not how secret
No,
checks
it's
should
a
be
no.
working. But anyway, you
With a
did.
16.
Yeah, you failed. You failed to figure out what exactly this is, but you didn't get any bad information necessarily. So it's just you don't recognize the creature. It looks its body is like similar to that of like a giant leech, but a lot of it's like it is like very big for a leech, so you can't just call it that. But its body structure is very much like that.
Is the other one that Tora pointed out, that's observed to us, correct?
No, it's hidden to you, observed to Tora. I just
Hidden
put the
to me?
token there. What?
Are we able to see it with dark vision or no?
No, even if you like couldn't see it, like, because it was still like, it was undetected that became unnoticed, but it didn't move from unnoticed when I described its like, it's like noise. The only person that it moved to hidden for was Tora, because his perception kind of caught it on by the ass. But now it is hidden to you, so you know it was there, and it hasn't been its turn yet. But so
Well,
you
I
could.
would like to use expeditious inspection to free action seek where that guy is.
Okay. But wait. So didn't you just take a free action though?
I can take as many as I want.
Ah.
That was a one action activity, right? Because I don't know that this is the subject of my lead.
Oh yeah. Okay. Then you're doing a seek in that 5-foot square, or not?
Yeah.
No, 15-foot square. However, you kind of peering into the darkness, you fail to perceive the creature, at least any better than how Tora like described it. Because as you're looking up at the ceiling, it's even in the dark vision, it still just looks like a culmination of stalactites and other like grayish coloration that all kind of blends together. And the coloration of these creatures' like complexion matches pretty closely with the walls and the stone surfaces that surround you. So it's difficult to tell it apart. But at least right now you can assume that it's still there.
I would like to then take the step action. I can't move my character.
Oh, I can.
I want to move a step down.
Sorry, I was gonna just change it so you guys can move them.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. All right, I'll step down there, and then with my last action, I will take the stride, going 5, 10. Can I move through this thing to my right?
That is a stone wall.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Okay.
And then that will end my turn.
Sounds good. After Corrin, we have.
I like this song.
Well, I guess I'll.
I got a 12.
I got a 10. I'm glad to know that Max's worst roll still beats mine.
Corrin, can I have you make a reflex save?
Jesus, what happened?
Whoa!
He be moving.
Whoa!
Yeah, Tora, you were able to watch it just kind of like slither along the ceiling. However, it seems Corrin had failed to fully observe it. But it does become fully observed as it
point.
to do what?
reroll.
Reroll? Okay.
To reroll.
Sounds good.
Wow.
Okay.
Whoa.
You are able to roll yourself out of the way of this creature's square, which does put you right here. However, as the creature comes to a slam at the that would move this guy, not you. So that is him. As he kind of slides to a roll beside you with a similar clap from his compatriot before coming into a vicious roar beside you, he is now fully observed to you. And to everyone else, really. However, along with that, he is going to make an attack against you with multiple attack penalty. That is a 14 to hit, which misses.
That misses.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I just posted the controlled condition. I did not mean that.
However,
Dodge out of the way.
After that creature's turn, it will be Kinnick, your go.
Okay, and I can see that other creature there.
You can.
Okay, I'd like to take the stride action. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, are you stepping in?
Out of his reach, yes. Does he make an attack at all?
No. I said, are you standing at like the coast of the water, or are you stepping in it?
Just at the coast. Would
Okay.
that be right here then?
Yeah, that's right there.
Okay.
Oh no, you didn't have to move yourself. You're good right where you are. So
Oh, okay.
it's more of you going like these like middle squares.
And as you see with my the shield, and then I have some plants in my other hand. You can see 2 like little arcs of lightning start to go between my shield and my other hand, and you can see as 2 bolts of lightning come out at both of these guys.
Okay.
I'm using electric arc. So that is a basic reflex save for them, a DC 19.
Okay.
What about his basic? What's that?
That just means
So
if they
the base-
critically fail, they take double damage. Failure is half damage. Save is... Oh, sorry. Failure is full damage. Success is half damage, and then critical success is no damage.
Is nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Whereas like just a regular, if it was a regular reflex save, it's either success or fail.
Okay. I will be rolling for the first one beside Gowan, which
Okay.
gets a natural 20, which with the modifier
Plus.
is... If I find his reflex. Reflex is not their best, but that is a 32 with the modifier.
So that's
Not their
nothing.
best. Only a +12.
Crit success. You heal
That
instead.
is a critical success. Yes.
That is no damage for that guy as he kind of goobers out of the way. For the second one, however, that is an 18.
18 total.
Yeah, total.
Alrighty, then he's taking 8 lightning damage.
Heat, lightning damage.
Or electricity, my apologies.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you rolled max.
Yes, I just have for Electric Arc and Tempest Surge, like what the save is, the DC, and then it rolls the damage all in one go.
Okay, I see. Did you roll in like Astral or rolling
yeah,
in something?
Yeah, it rolled it in Astral. The damage 8, it's a 1d4 plus 4,
I am-
which is my spellcasting ability modifier.
Oh, there it is. It didn't show up for a second. I apologize. Okay, yeah. The lightning bolt kind of crackles into the side of him just as he's rearing back to strike at Corrin again, but he kind of gets locked up by the electricity. Nice. 8 damage. All right. Is that everything, Connect?
Yes.
Alrighty. After Connect is going to be Genuine.
Quick question.
Yep.
For the purposes, does Gowan count as adjacent to the giant worm slug thing?
Does it need to be flanking or just like?
I'm just wondering if he's considered adjacent to the foe.
He is adjacent. I guess it depends. Do you need to be flanking? That's what I was asking.
I just need I'm doing underhanded assault.
Oh.
Sneak up to a foe adjacent to one of your allies. And then I can roll against the foe you're sneaking on, even if it's currently observing, as though you were hidden. You take a -2 penalty to stealth check. The check succeeds, you can make a melee strike against the foe at the end of your sneak.
Okay. I mean, you are technically still hidden, so you can sneak. So go ahead.
So I make my stealth.
I don't know if that's necessary because it says because you'd become observed as soon as you attacked, and you already are observed because you critically failed. But it says you can do it anyway, right? As long as you sneak.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
says
'cause
even if
the
you're
guy
observed
back
by them, you can just do it.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the attack.
I just have a minus, since he's observing me, I just have a -2 to the actual DC.
Okay.
Fucking, are you kidding me?
Uh-oh.
Oof.
What the shit? Okay, I got a natural 1, but it's 12.
Yeah, critical failures aren't always critical failures when you guys start getting higher modifiers, but in this case, you do miss.
Well, that's just the stealth, right?
No, that was his hit. I didn't make him roll the stealth because he's observed anyway. So
Yeah.
Stealths are secret checks anyway.
that
So
too.
it
Oh.
doesn't roll.
This says it's not. I make the roll for it, so it's not like.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, it would say secret if it was secret, but it's not.
Well, no, it because when it mentions like stealth in the ability, stealth still follows or like sneak. It still is using the sneak action just in the ability.
No.
It says you can roll against the foe, but I think that means you like roll your
You
attack
roll.
against
Yeah,
the foe.
all the traits at the top of like for example like sudden charge. Sudden charge still has all the all the traits of like a move action in sudden charge still is treated the same as like the stride is still normal and has all of its traits. It's just baked into sudden charge, even if the traits of sudden charge don't like match it.
It's easier to see on Nethys because Nethys, like, when it says you sneak up, it has a link to the sneak action, so you know that that's the action it's being used.
Yeah,
Okay.
Action.
Nested action.
but yeah.
So for the purposes of this, since I wasn't able to make the attack because I didn't succeed, is this just one action point or is it two? Because underhanded is two, but I didn't succeed.
I think you roll the attack anyway, and it just uses 2. And
Yeah.
you just miss.
Anytime you take an action, it always spends the listed amount of action points.
Okay. Well, it just says if your stealth check against the chosen foe succeeds, you can make a melee strike. But I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said that like. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess we'll treat that as your stealth because it'd be a natural one anyway, right? So.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you roll your stealth?
I rolled my stealth for the,
Oh, okay.
the stealth. That's what that roll in the chat is.
If your
Was,
stealth checks against the hits, you can make a melee strike, but I'm guessing since you did it, you can make the strike.
You
right?
can't,
It still uses
so-
both. Yeah.
Yeah, it still uses both, but you still have one. But it would
Yeah.
be multiple attack penalty, even though you didn't get to attack, because I'm assuming underhanded your ability has the attack trait. If it doesn't, you don't. But
No,
it just
it doesn't.
it does not.
Trade, it's just-
Or oh wait, no, but it's using.
Technically, the strike action would, but he never.
He never got to do it, so yeah, you would not have the multiple attack penalty.
So you can still strike him with your full stuff.
Yeah. Let me. Well, I get up to him, I guess, because I still would walk toward him.
Yeah, you'd still sneak. You just won't get the strike.
Yeah, and I only have the one action, so we are going to do a little finagling, and then we're going to stab him with a sword cane.
Okay. Roll to hit.
A 16 to hit.
Miss. As it slides across its slippery bod.
This is my life.
This was Odin last game. But no. As you try to sneak across, however the creature seems to turn and notice you, you kind of hold that strike back, but even still you rush forward and swing with your Kenku Gale Blade, and as the strike kind of slams into it, it just kind of slides.
Yeah, I killed it.
What?
Yeah, it was the sword cane I swung with.
Oh, the sword cane. My apologies. Then that's piercing, yeah?
Yeah.
You stabbed it. But anyway, I'm assuming that's everything you have, Genuine?
Yes, I can't wait to die.
Okay. Hey, don't worry. They've been having a hard time hitting you as well. Top of the turn order is Gowan. On deck is Tora.
Standing there on my low to the ground, kind of hunched over stance, I'm gonna say, "Mmm," and then my anime red eye flares a bit as I use the demoralize action on this guy in front of me.
Okay. I believe demoralize gets a penalty if they don't share a language with you.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because thanks to my intimidating glare feat, he does not need to share a language, and I do not suffer a penalty if he cannot.
Okay.
I'm just like looking at him basically.
Okay. And
I'm gonna get ya.
demoralize, is that a save or just?
It's yeah. Well, I roll.
You
and then
attempt an
it's-
intimidation check against the target's will
Like, going
DC.
to that for anyone?
Wait, what?
Okay, there it is. Oh, that's a 14.
Sadly, however, the creature seems to ooh, that just barely succeeds.
Yo!
Bog champ.
Damn.
Big boy.
The
So now he's. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. I believe he's
Oh,
frightened one,
He's frightened one. Yes.
which let me pull up the condition for that.
Basically, AC -1, attack rolls -1, saves -1.
It's just across the board.
All checks and DCs.
How long are they intimidated for?
Frighten goes down every round by 1 bell.
At the end of Gowan's next turn, then, so it would fall off.
And I cannot intimidate him again for 10 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. As you kind of like let out this red glow, the creature seems almost as though it's never even seen like that type of like light before, especially from a creature. You just release this like intimidating aura, and you hear this kind of as it just shrivels back.
And then with my other 2 actions, I'm gonna swing twice.
All right, go ahead. For the
28 to hit. And then I'll just go ahead and roll the second one. This will be -5, 11 to hit.
rage bastard sword.
Mhm.
Okay.
Emojis.
Set
The
the.
second one didn't have the -5.
No, I mean it misses anyway.
He just said he -5.
Yeah,
You
I
might-
don't have
like,
like the actual roll. I just say minus 5.
I mean, but the first attack is a critical success, so that is 22
Wow.
damage because his AC is reduced. So, and that's 10 above.
Okay.
Oh, demoralized before the strike.
Oh,
It
that's the
paid
problem.
off.
Oh shit! How do crit specs?
It is
like,
it is all the damage dice, or all damage and modifier is doubled. So your
Isn't it
11
like
there
a-
would be doubled.
depending on the
I think
weapon
you have
type,
that.
you
Crit
get
spec
a.
doesn't work until you get it as like a class.
Oh wait, what's okay? Is there a specific thing you're asking if it should be applied?
No, if I don't have
Fifth
it yet.
level is when you get it.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you need your
Well,
weapon
when your weapon
specialization.
specialization effects.
Yeah.
22 damage.
22 damage as you just slam your greatsword with vicious ferocity as it just cleaves into the side of this creature, leaving a huge gash that just seems to gush this like this bloody brackish like blood that kind of spills forth. That's mixing with this almost like the fluid that kind of moisturizes its skin, kind of mixing with it into this viscous like bloody slime that just kind of seems to close and seep from the wound endlessly as it kind of rears back, just being able to flail out of the way of your second swing.
Oh, and one more thing, I forgot to mention, but my sword is kind of like glowing red hot now, as if it was dipped in a forge, and 6 of that damage was negative damage.
Oh, it does not in this case, but that is cool.
Okay, just for future reference.
Emojis on your little actions, Daniel.
Very cool, very cool.
It's only 2.
Okay. Okay. It is that oh, sorry. It is Tora's turn.
Yeah. I will first stride towards the creature.
Okay. So
Hey,
you can move your guy if you want.
Oh, okay.
There's a pillar in front of you though, so you will have to turn a bit.
Go around him a little bit. Oh, my ash is kind of.
1, 2,
Move
15,
me 40
20,
feet
20.
closer to the. Yeah.
There you are.
Okay, and I will flurry of blows.
Okay.
Do you get like a flanking bonus there?
No. Oh, he would. No.
Can you go to the opposite corner? and
Yeah,
flank?
could he go to that opposite one to flank?
If he went like that, he would. Yeah. So.
Can he get there with 40?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I'll do that then.
Okay.
I'll flank that dude, and I will rake these cool claws on. I don't think this creature has a back. Whatever he has, I'll rake it.
Okay.
Make my first one. There's a 15 hit.
It does not. As you just kind of like scoop off this like sludge across its like back as you kind of like whip it off your hand and swing after it with the second strike.
Second strike. 17 hit.
Is that with the -5 or minus?
Yeah, -4.
Yeah, -4 because you're.
Yeah, it's already on there. I already minus.
It's already on there. Okay, yeah. Then,
Yep.
but it does miss still, just barely.
Ooh.
Even with flat-footed and frightened?
Yeah.
Oh, with flat-footed, it hits. Thank you for reminding me
Oh,
that.
sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Then okay, then that does 10 damage,
Okay.
and
What?
Why is he flat-footed?
Because he's getting flanked.
Flanking.
I'm flanking.
Oh,
And
flanking.
he will also, he also has to make a fortitude save, because I have stunning fist.
His fortitude save is a 21.
That saves.
Okay.
And also like it's an incapacitation effect. So if he's like not our level, he would have had like a. one
These
success.
creatures are not beyond your incapacitation effect.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
then after that attack, I will pounce 10 feet back with a step.
With a backflip, you pull yourself back, hopping back like a with feline grace. All right.
And then that's my turn.
Okay. Next up in the turn order after Tora is this creature, who is going to make an attack against. Is going to make an attack against Gowan, who just cleaved into him with a -1, I believe. Correct.
Yes, due to frightened.
So the first attack is a. It's 27,
That hits.
which hits.
Success.
Which their attacks are a little strange as this creature rears its head back and like as it seems to lunge at you, the rows in its mouth seem to almost like stack out as if like the farthest back row or the farthest forward row seems to lunge forward like a spear, and it's surrounded by these like almost like layers of its teeth as it seems to latch its maw as it sinks flat into your shoulder. Although the pain is dulled as the creature's teeth kind of seem to rend into the just past the plate, it is going to deal. So, forgive me. These guys have like kind of wacky attacks, so I want to make sure I do it right. So you were taking 7 piercing damage initially.
Okay. They're reduced by 5 by my temp HP.
Correct. So you would be at 48. Correct.
Mhm.
Additionally, as this creature begins to kind of almost seem to suck against like almost like begin to lurch its entire body as it almost seems to like suck out the blood from the wound it causes. I will need.
Obrigado. Eu sou pinto inteligente.
Sucking me.
Sorry. Okay, so you are now. You become drained 1.
Oh no, not drained again.
Oh God.
I'll set that condition on my Path Builder app.
Which I believe initially is. I'll have to pull up the condition again because
Should be 3 HP.
it's your level down, yeah. So it's like
It's
the
your
number,
level times
like
the
yeah,
condition.
So it'd be 3 HP. The HP isn't like damage; it's just gone. So like if you lost the drain condition, you would get that HP back.
And is that current and max that goes down?
Your maximum hit points are reduced by the same amount, is what it says.
Okay.
Okay, so you would be at
Você não tem
45 technically, but your max would be at
47.
47. That's correct.
Terceiro.
Okay. And additionally, you feel this like burning sensation from where the creature bites you, as though some liquid it's secreting, as though as it's sucking your blood, it's injecting something as well. I will need you to make a fortitude saving throw.
Oh no. Pull up my sheet.
Why the music shut off? What the heck?
Come on, Astro.
Sei.
I'll be right back 1 second.
Okay.
Boa pergunta.
Bro, you're up next.
Vê se
Sorry, I didn't pull up my character sheet. There it is. Let me click on it.
It might help if you like pop it out, cause
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
de vale cover.
okay.
Well,
Cover e cuidado pra não morrer quando for tomar o
Thankfully, that is not a critical failure. However, you are now at stage 1 of this disease. You would have the drained 1 condition. However, since you already possess the drain, like the same numerical value, actually, the duration would increase. So you have drained 1 for 4 hours, along with its suck, which is the standard. I'm not sure what the standard duration of drained 1 is, but if it's shorter,
It's
you would fall to the
technically-
longer one. Once the
there's no duration, unless stated otherwise.
okay, so the longer one is the normal drained one. So after,
Yeah, it's
so once the initial drained 1 falls off, you would have another drained 1 from the standard. Because if you got like, because the way like the conditions work, because when Alex was talking about drained earlier, I looked it up, was like if like a spell gave you drained 1 for like, or drained 2 for a round, and then you had drained 1 for like 3 hours. Once the drained 2 is done, you would just go to the drained 1, because it's still there, but yeah. Okay. Sorry for the hold up. I just wanted to make sure that was okay. But yeah, you feel this like sickness beneath. I'm not sure how much Gowan like feels, so sorry for like. How does like Gowan's like sense? Are they the same?
I mean, obviously the physical effects are still there, but right now he's got the horse blinders on.
Okay, yeah,
He feels it, but he doesn't pay it any mind really.
gotcha. All right. It will make 1 more attack against you.
meio que divide a grana.
Oh, sorry. It is not going to make an attack. It is going to just suck blood again. So
Oh, shit.
No.
doesn't mean you have to make the you don't have to make the save though. Again. So it's just he seems you notice that the wounds that you've caused him begin to kind of like seep slightly closer to closing as he does so. Okay. That would give you drained 1 again, but it's the same as like the drained 1 that's already there. So
Right.
those don't stack because they have no duration.
Mhm.
So just treat it as though like there's not. It's just the 1 from that. But yeah, that is the end of his turn. After that creature, it is going to be Corin.
Corn looks back towards that creature as he devises another stratagem towards the thing that is sucking Gowan.
Okay.
Wow.
As you look at this creature, it's difficult to make out its details, especially when you're looking for the incriminating aspects of whether or not this creature is the one that you're pursuing your lead upon, looking for traces of the creature's attack on its body to the creatures beside that you had been investigating earlier. However, you make no immediate judgment, but you do recognize what these creatures are. You recognize these creatures as giant leeches. They are purely based giant leeches. Your previous observation, though cynical, was closer than you suspected. You've seen these images of these creatures, though it's rare for them to get this large. They seem to match all the giving effects, though they seem to have a slight mutation with their arms. The creatures themselves, though, the greatest threat that they pose is the fact that they are, if placed near or given the chance, they will basically drain a creature like dry of its blood. Though they possess no outward abilities beyond that drain, or supernatural effects, I should say.
So I kind of look back and just say, don't let it drain you too much. And I will stride.
Okay.
Let's move. Let's do 5, 10, 20. I apologize. I need to look up my short bow real quick.
I think it's 30. Oh, 60 maybe.
It is 60. Okay, so I'll be fine. So that was 20, 25, 30.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see the B1?
Yeah.
Here?
Oh, there's a pillar between you and him. Yeah, I thought you were talking about
fuck.
the second one. Yeah.
Well, what can I see him from?
You could have
Where
gone
can I
like
see him from?
here.
I can go there.
Yeah, because it's awkward because there's a pillar there and here.
Yeah. Okay, so I was right here, so I'll move 5, 15,
Okay.
the 20, and I'll end there. And I will use, as the creature's all frightened or whatever the fuck, I'm using the calculations within my mind. I pull out an arrow and I shoot at him for a 19 to hit.
A 19 to hit. Okay.
I do believe it hits.
That does hit.
If I've metagame correctly.
How did you? God, am I not like?
Where'd you roll that?
Yeah.
It's the strategy roll, isn't it?
My stratagem roll, I store.
Oh, there's no modifier on it. I see.
Strategy.
So
Yeah.
it was the 9. I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 19 because I have a plus 10.
That does indeed hit as you kind of calculating its stirring motion as it rolls back in your mind, and almost as if like a picturesque play that you're writing the script for. The creature falls right into motion as you fire your arrow directly where it was going. The arrow strikes into the side of its throat and quickly slips out with
3 damage total.
3 damage total.
Yeah.
As I hit him and he reels back, I find, because I'm so fucking smart, I've calculated when he reels back that Genuine Bird Eye has a really nice opportunity to get him, and I'm going to choose Genuine as my target for the creature is now flat-footed to you.
Oh,
My
okay.
shared stratagem ability.
Cool. After if that was everything,
I
Corin.
believe so.
Okay. After you, Corin, you hear a kind of sliding after you.
No!
Yeah, it's not going for me.
Having too many backliners, like, ah, shit, where do we go?
It is going to make an. You are flat-footed to this creature's attack because the reach from the second one. Oh, I guess
He's a breach.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck.
Wow.
Yikes.
For the first attack, it is an unnatural 20.
That does hit, sadly.
As you feel this like latch on from behind you, just as you are about to turn around to get your attention back on it, you feel the biting sensation as it grips into your shoulder. It's disgusting and like compulsive form, kind of twitching as it sucks out from the wound that strikes into you, dealing 9 piercing damage. Followed by, it is going to apply Drained 1 to you. As it sucks blood.
It's always the first combat. Drains everywhere.
Drain gang.
I don't need to.
A lot of creatures have it. I'm sorry. It's also, I mean,
Yeah,
now that
you
we
really
get
like
it, it's a lot
draining us,
quicker.
Bro. You got a fetish for sucking our blood? What the hell?
I'm so sorry. Additionally, I'll need you to make a Fortitude save as well. Okay. You have the Drained 1 condition as well for 2 hours. So apply that one first, and then you have the baseline one. And then, as it unlatches from you, it's going to attempt to attack you a third time. With the multiple attack penalty of... Yeah, because it's what?
Didn't he stride to me?
Oh, you're correct. Thank you. My apologies. That is the end of its turn. Next up in the turn order is going to be Knick, followed by Genuine.
Alrighty. So, taking the stride action, Knick is going to go towards Tora, and is speaking just like a kind of like a free thing to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just banter, as long as it's within the time frame.
Tora, I've seen people like you. Please accept this gift. As I kind of like hold on to his hands, and you can see a little bit of lightning start emanating from his claws, and you can see just like a little bit of lightning sparking off of his claws. As I'm casting Magic Fang onto you. So your unarmed strike shines with primal energy, becomes a +1 striking unarmed strike.
Ooh.
Oh.
Incredible.
That's kind of dope.
What kind of bonus does magical bonuses count as? Is it just magical bonus? Because technically you already have +1 striking, I believe.
We have a
It's-
plus on potency.
Oh,
It's a
+1.
+1.
Yeah, okay.
+1 striking, so then you get a +1 bonus to
To
attack
da-
rolls and damage.
What kind of
And you
bonus?
increase the damage.
Yeah.
Is it like a
Okay.
stats bonus or something?
Okay, yeah, never mind.
So yeah, you have 2 damage dice now, and you have an extra +1 to hit.
Awesome. As this lightning ripples off your summoned claws, Tora. Anything else, Knick?
No, that is all 3 of my actions.
Alrighty. After that, we have Genuine.
And
He is
you-
flat-footed.
and Are all my attacks considered flat-footed?
I
Corn?
think it's the next attack. Let me actually
Oh, it's the
check.
next one, yeah. Unless you have, yeah.
I mean, you could just
Next
move
attack that-
and flat-foot him
that
against
designated
Gowan.
ally makes against that creature.
Oh, it's only your first one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted, you could move to this square, and then he's flat-footed to both attacks, but...
Yeah, but that puts me near the other one. So, seeing this encouragement, I guess, that Corin has given, this devised strategy has shown me the truth. I go for the stab.
Alright?
A little thing. Corin actually didn't say anything. He only calculated, like, when he shot the creature like, reared up in a
Yeah,
way
it just
that
opens an
you could do
opportunity.
something.
You just recognize the
I recognize the
I
opportunity
yeah.
Corin has provided, yes.
He's got the
I
calculation
specifically,
in his
yeah,
mind.
I specifically hit him in a way so that you would have a fucking opportunity to strike him.
He did the
I
discombobulate.
calculated.
And once
I'm-
that- It's like that.
I'm
Zach
on turn
Galifianakis
6
thing.
right now, guys.
Yeah.
He's come up.
He's playing at least 5 turns ahead of literally everyone else.
We're playing chess.
We're stabbing him with sword cane, so it's piercing.
No,
Let-
I'm playing
let's
chess. You're
see.
playing checkers.
We're playing Pathfinder 1, he's playing Pathfinder
Whoops,
2.
I did it wrong. 24 to hit.
That hits, man. That is. Wait, hang on. Let me. That is.
He's still frightened, and that's a flat-footed then too.
Okay, that's not a crit. That is almost a crit, but
Yeah.
Damn.
Dang.
And since he's flat, I apply sneak attack.
that is correct.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find first.
I believe it at this level. Isn't it 1d6 still, or is it 2d6? I guess I don't know off the top of my
It's
head.
1d6.
It's 1d6 precision, so it's piercing damage for your cane.
Yeah. I mean, okay. 1d6. So it'd be the weapon plus an extra d6.
Yep.
Certainly. Okay. I'm just thinking. 1d6 plus 4. So this is the base damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then an extra d6 and natural 1. So 10 damage.
10 damage. I mean, it's damage. This guy's the most hurt out of either of them. The wounds that were healing from him sucking on Gowan, you immediately leap forward as he turns and the wounds slightly open, slamming your sword cane into the wound, sinking it, piercing past his blubbery fat and into the organs beneath. You hear the creature screech in pain as it whips you off. You barely being able to hold on to your blade as you come clattering behind it. However, it seems it has lost the disadvantage imposed, or the moment has passed that was given to you by Corin. What else are we doing, Jenny?
And for my next action, after I stabbed the cane, I start flicking around looking like I'm ready for another attack, and I use feint.
Okay. That is
So I would
a deception.
Deception versus his perception DC.
Okay. Go ahead and make the roll.
Okay.
Come on, roll big.
Roll max.
Roll max.
That'll be a 16 for the deception.
As you start whipping the cane around, hello, my honey. Hello, my. No, I'm kidding. Sadly, yeah, you do not faint him out with that.
Noticing this, I pull the cane back and I go for the Gale Blade coming in clutch
Oh,
to stab
okay.
for a second attack.
Isn't
And it
it?
has
Feint
the
is an
agile.
attack action, isn't it?
It is
No, I
one.
think it's.
It is one action point.
Is it the attack?
Oh, it is not.
I don't think
It is.
so.
It is not. I was just making sure. So this is a minus. Is the Gale Blade finesse?
It's agile, which is the one that reduces.
Oh, okay.
the amount
minus.
of- Every
it's-
one of my weapons is agile, so it
Okay, so it's a
kinda
minus
doesn't
4.
matter. They all do like the same amount of damage.
I'll be sometimes.
So it just doesn't matter which order they go in, but I like to do the cane first. But so okay, minus 4 instead of minus 5. Okay. So that'll be D20 plus 6. That's a 14 to hit.
That misses.
And then sliding off, he quickly. He doesn't like back away or anything, but he like kind of holds himself back a bit
Okay.
after
Well-
these finessing moves.
It is heavily injured. You can see wounds, especially from both your strike and Gowan's strike. Gowan's leaving these huge lacerations across its body, barely closed, and you've reopening those old wounds, returning them to just bleeding profusely. The creature is wounded. Alrighty. So next up in the turn order is going to be, if that was everything, Genuine,
Yep, that is everything I have.
will be followed by the reset of the turn order, with it being back to you, Gowan. Tora following soon after.
I'm just gonna keep swanging. That's all I know.
Roll to hit.
He's a swanger.
Okay, there it is. Oh, what's
That misses.
natural 1. 11 to hit.
Okay, so how many have we done so far? We've done a fuck ton of
As
them.
you, as you slam forward, enraged by the creature's attack on you, swinging forward. However, the creature, the strike was too slow and gave too much anticipation for the creature to dodge back as it slides back, but yet even so, the sword slams and cleaves into the stone beneath where your strike was.
Assim, não é, assim, é só pra você agora que você pegou.
The second strike misses as well.
That is a 10 modified. And then might as well take my third attack. The -10 this time.
Just taking stone after just leaving gashes in the stone around you.
This one doesn't go. Oh,
Oh my god.
Wow. That's a -10 though. But it
yeah.
it just barely misses because he is no longer flat-footed.
No. Darn.
You should have done it in the reverse order.
I should have.
Your last strike, stepping forward with a heavy swing, the creature barely dodges out of the way as you take a chunk out of the pillar beside you, cleaving through the side of the stone as your sword sends sparks kind of flying off of it. But the creature does narrowly dodge out of the way. Alrighty. I believe that was everything, Gowan.
Yes.
Following Gowan is Tora.
Yeah. I will. My thanks, Nick, and I will hop over him, and I will move. I have 40 feet of movement. I think that gets me right there.
Yep.
And I don't want to sound like a bad person, but earlier, when I Tiger Clawed and he was flat-footed and had the -1 to AC from the intimidation thing, and I had a 15 attack, did that hit him?
Did that hit him? It should not have. No.
Okay, I was making sure. So then I will take
Wait.
I'm gonna key strike this guy.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
So remember he was flat-footed and he had the -1 AC.
Was he flat-footed to you? I don't think Genuine got
Yeah,
the
he
move it.
was.
Oh.
He was flat-footed because the second attack he was flat-footed. I remember because you were like, "Whoa, he's flat-footed," and that hit.
Oh, then yeah, that would have hit. Here, I'll take that off as well.
Oh, sweet. Take that 4 damage. I was just thinking. I was like,
My apologies.
Mais rápido, peraí. Achei
no,
o-
it's okay.
What was your to hit there?
It was a 15, which just barely hits him, I think. So because
Yeah,
it's
with, like, that
it's 17. Oh wait, I'm stupid. That wouldn't hit. Duh.
Oh, gangers.
Sorry.
I didn't want to say. I think I know his AC.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought with the
So-
-2 and the -1.
I mean, I'll say it. It's a 19. His AC's
Yeah,
a 19.
19 AC.
Fuck.
Well,
Write that down. Write that down.
I'll keep.
You guys didn't figure it out, bro? When
No, I
Gallon
did, yeah.
hit with a 28, he said the Frightened just crit him, which is 10 over, so he was at a 19 -1 plus
Mhm.
10. So his
I just don't use any attack rolls,
Interesting.
so I don't care.
I just don't count.
Leave it to the
So
investigator.
After moving, I'm gonna key strike, which gives me a +1 to these attack rolls. And I'll do 1d6 extra negative damage. And I do a flurry of blows with it. So I'll do the
And you
first
also
attack.
have the striking on top.
The striking one too.
Wait, so how are
So
you?
add a +1 to your roll as well.
How are you? Does key strike? Is it a free action?
Yeah. Well, no, key strike is one action, but you do a flurry of blows when you do it.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
And then I do the extra stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Caralho,
So
eu peguei mais uma
here's the
vez
first
dessa.
one, and it's with the +2 added to hit roll.
Eu dou muito dano, mas
Is that the +1 from striking
That's a
as well?
30.
metade da metade dele.
Since he is
Did you have
flat-footed,
the +1 from striking?
Yeah, I added the +1 and I get
since
the
he's
extra.
flat-footed from Corin, that's a critical hit.
Okay, so he takes
No,
that
no,
6, and then I have to roll an extra d8 because it's a striking damage.
Yes, and
He's taking, yeah. So go ahead and roll your.
Extra d8,
Isso é com-
and
So-
he takes d6 negative. So
Volta atrás perto desses.
that's the extra damage.
He's taking
22
22 damage.
total?
Yeah.
Não, não, é só item branco. Você vai.
As you come jumping, leaping over the water with a skid and a slide, you strike your palm, lightning arcing
Just
off
like
of it
black.
right into its back. What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Like the lightning, and then this black energy comes out of my like orangish claws too at the same time. And
Okay.
hits him.
E daí você vai ficar muito
And
rápido.
then I will do the second flurry of, I mean the second attack of the flurry of blows.
Okay.
It's a 24 to hit. Well, 26 to hit.
Hits.
And he did
add your
3,
extra damage die too.
and then another
500 de
d8.
E você não pode ser
because
uma
striking.
parada, que é ótimo.
And, oh my
Nice.
god. And then another d6. That damage too.
15.
15 damage.
Mano, fala assim, vai.
Worried about a monk.
As the creature reels in pain and tries to turn around to defend itself, but you just send a palm directly into the side of its mouth, tearing it's almost like circular and concave face, a huge gash that kind of leaves like its mouth in kind of muscled flaps that's trying to close itself as it rears it back in pain, blood gushing around the rotting portions of flesh where you applied your negative damage to it. Okay. Yeah.
And
He is
my last action.
It's really cool.
No, yeah, my last action. I'll hit him one more time.
-8.
-8. Yep. Here.
Just roll a natural 20.
No, that does not hit. Well, yeah, it doesn't hit.
That is not hit. He's able to pull himself out of the way of your flurry. Alrighty. After you, Tora, it is going to be the one beside Gowan. And hearing the cries of the other creature is going to turn and move over to Corin.
What the fuck? Tora, what did you do to me?
And is going to make an attack against you, Corin.
So you're rocking on here.
That is a 32, so that is a critical strike.
Crits.
So you will be taking. Thankfully, its damage dice is pretty low for its actual like things it hurts you with.
A gente tá na. É, mas ele pelo menos passou.
You are taking.
Dos caras ali você vai pegar depois. 30 stages.
You're taking 14 piercing damage. Along with, I'll need you to make another fortitude saving throw. Oh, I am sorry, Gowan. I need you to make a fortitude save as well.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you should. Those of you that have the boo boo need to make fortitude saves at the end of your turn. I apologize, I forgot that.
Is he still like sucking on me after he goes over to?
No, this is for the effect. There's an effect remaining on you.
I-
It's a disease, but you don't know what it is. So it is Corin. You go to stage 2. So you are at drained 1 and sickened 1. And Gowan with a 24. You resist and are no longer affected by the disease. You feel it resisted out of your bloodstream as you were able to reduce.
Bichos, cadê você? Cara, tem bastante coisinha aqui embaixo.
Oh,
Mas provavelmente deve ter
Oh.
pra poder também.
I apologize. You just don't go up. That was my bad.
Oh, I'm still at stage 1.
You're still at stage 1. So, that was my bad. I missed out a sentence.
Probably need a crit success.
Is it? Where'd my music go? Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't get a bunch to yet, sadly. Need to get them tunes. But Corin, you were Gowan. Yeah, every time you succeed, you're at stage 1. Corin, you are at stage 2. There's an attack coming at you, Corin. Did strike you as this one is now attached onto you. However, as it is going, as I need you to make your fortitude save.
I already made one, right?
That was for the turn before, or was that for this one?
Oh, I just made one.
This is a second, like,
Oh, is it a second one?
yeah, because every time they bite you, you have to make one.
24.
24. You resist this new onset. So, but you were still at stage 2. Okay. It is going to give you a little suck. Doesn't make any changes because I believe you still have the standard stage 1. It just heals. And that is all of it. Everything it's going to be doing on this turn. Next up in the turn order is going to be Corin, followed by.
Shit.
What's up?
Can you have the one I hit? It needs to make a fortitude save.
Oh,
for
yeah.
my stunning fist. I'm really sorry.
No, you're good. That is a 24.
He saves.
Okay.
It's my turn.
Just like I forget to mention stuff. This is a learning experience. But yeah, it is your go, Corin. You were currently flanked.
I'm not grappled by them or anything, right?
No. They do not apply a grapple effect. They just like have to hit you to do their stuff.
Okay, we're gonna move. Get the fuck out of here. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. And have I figured out if one of these is the thing that killed the raven? Is one of them the subject of my...
You know what? I'll say at this point, when this one suckled you, you saw that there were like feathers in its like mouth.
Well, then I will free action devise a stratagem then.
Okay. I will mention your vision is getting kind of like warped and blurry. You can feel a sickness in your stomach, as well as the fact of it's just, you know, you're feeling generally kind of shitty. But
as he looks back and kind of woozily looks at the guy. I don't know. Did I figure anything else out?
this is I'm assuming recall knowledge for
B1.
nature.
I assume so. I don't know.
Wait.
I'm not. I
does-
don't know what the creature is.
I can't remember. Did your devise stratagem make it so you can like ignore the normal rules for recall knowledge?
No, I still follow them. I'm pretty sure. It
Oh,
just said that I make the recall knowledge action, and then on a crit success, I get
because I shouldn't be. I don't think I should be making.
Aren't they secrets?
No. I mean, like, I don't know if you can keep making them against the thing.
Oh, it should be a harder DC.
Oh, is it?
That's what I think it says. It doesn't really give numbers, but it just says if you
Okay.
make continual checks, it just...
Well, for now I'll treat it like that. I'll look it up after the session. But regardless, you don't really necessarily view any immediate new information from the creature. You know, from these giant leeches as they are kind of moving about.
Alright, as I woozily look back at it, you know, getting suckled wasn't very fun. You see Corin as he traces an arcane sigil in the air, and he kind of holds the bottom of his bow as and he runs his hands up nice and fast, like, as he zips across this, like, luminescent glass starts growing from the bow, encompassing it, kind of acting like a shield as he casts shield
Oh.
with one action.
And what does
Investigate.
shield do for you? Is it just
I get +1 AC, and then I can use the shield block reaction.
okay?
The shield.
I see.
And then I'm going to, that was my second action, I will then try it again. Going 5, 10, 15, 25, 30.
Yeah. As you kind of move away, your thoughts rapid and trying to thinking about the amount of blood that they must extract from you, at least in their bite attacks, must be quite severe to cause these onset effect, these deliriums or inhibitations or inhibiting factors to your senses. But yeah. But you move behind a pillar.
Oh, also,
And that's my turn.
Okay. What's up?
sorry, before the next person goes, do these guys have blood?
They do.
If they do, they're taking,
Oh, you're a blood
I'm
sucker
so
too?
sorry.
Oh,
When I crit, they take 4 persistent bleed damage. Sorry.
So that one guy takes 1
That-
or 4%.
How much persistent?
4. Well, yeah, 4. And I'm not really sure
And
how the persistence.
They
rules
take it
work
at the end of
now.
their turn. And then
Okay, well,
they
yeah.
make a save. They make a flat check. I think it's like DC 15 to remove it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But you
there's just a
can
lot of,
look
like-
that up for me while
Okay.
just look up persistent
Just-
damage for me.
There's a lot of like
Effects that
happen
come from your thing.
when I
Yeah.
Playing it on here, but
Yeah, I have so much on hit stuff.
Where's our on death build?
that's all of us.
Next up in the turn order is kind of turning around now to the individual who applied all of its wounds. This creature is going to lunge at you, Tora, with a 24 to hit.
Hits.
Oh wait, does he have a? No, he succeeded the stunning blow. So for the first strike, as it latches onto you, that is 10 piercing damage. I need you to make a fortitude save. Oh, Corin, at the end of your turn, make a fortitude save.
Fortitude save. Okay.
Okay, Corin, you're at stage 3, which now I'm.
Yummy. So wait, I took 3 there? So I got sucked, and then and then ended the turn I got it.
Yeah,
I
because
got
the way
sucked again,
diseases
and then
work.
ended the turn.
Well, didn't you roll for a disease save that came like prior that you didn't roll for? Isn't that what
No, I
that?
think that was
like-
for his first one.
He's rolled for every single save.
Because
That
Huh.
needed to be
I think
made.
that first roll
Failed.
wasn't that the first time you got attacked, Alex? Like,
I think so.
no,
Let's
no,
see how many
I
I've rolled. I've rolled 1.
because you
2,
should
3.
in total you should have rolled 1, 2, 3,
I've rolled
4,
4.
and you succeeded.
I
Yeah,
I
because
succeeded once.
there's the onset,
No.
the end of turn, the second effect from that came from the other one that biting you, and then there's the end of this turn.
Jesus. Fucking leeches.
So you are now drained 2 and sickened 1, if you weren't already.
Sick of
Sucked
that.
and fucked.
Sucked in.
I got a
I am
20
I
for my save.
I hate the drain condition. I never want to see it again.
Wait. I might. Let me double check something.
We need amulets of drain resistance.
Don't worry, bro. You just get healed and you're like, oh, I'm not drained anymore.
Okay.
Now we know.
I need
Rather
to.
than wait
I
out.
might. Because I was like,
It
this
has a
is.
lot of rules and stuff. It's kinda
I really,
I'll be right back.
me personally, I really like the disease rules. However, I need to double check.
Eles estão em cima ali.
Ah.
Eles estão todos aí em cima.
I will be right back while this happens.
O que faz o quê? Não sei, velho. Ainda não sei.
Oh, so it's a DC 15 flat check to see if they recover from the
Yep.
persistent damage.
Oh, that's really good.
All
It's
right.
like,
Thanks.
DC 15, that's normal, right? I don't- no, it's-
No, but like a flat check though. Like
Oh,
There's
that's
a
right. They don't
75
get any
yeah.
stuff. That's
Yeah.
right.
there's only a 25% chance that they get rid of it.
That is dope.
Oh.
I got that bleed though.
I mean, I got one thing of persistent damage that might happen if they fail, but I don't know.
Is that for the Arky thing?
For the Tempest Surge.
Okay. I slight fuck up. I need the. So you are at staged 1 still.
Okay, so I'm.
Because you,
drained
yeah,
1.
the only thing that will, in 2 hours, you will need to make another check. So,
Oh, I see.
I
Like
in the
reapplying same
yeah,
attack
I,
to make it. Oh.
so I had to, because diseases and poisons follow the same rules, and I need, initially I thought the stages always progressed at the end of a combat round, but they like poisons do, because all the poisons are at the end of a round. However, for poisons, it states in the parentheses around, and then in diseases, they can be around, but it's different lengths of time, and that's when the natural check comes on. So that was my bad, Corin.
Dang.
Alright,
But
I
since
don't
you,
think that
the
changes anything I wanted to do.
the one thing you succeeded at is the one that would have pushed you up. So you are only at drained 2 or drained 1, unless you, yeah. But yeah, where? Oh, Tora.
That guy attacked me.
Yeah,
I got
you succeeded your save. So you don't, although you feel this like stinging sensation, you don't immediately feel extremely like bad. You seem to have resisted effects entirely. It is going to not. Oh no, it is gonna suck your blood. It's really messed up. So you are drained 1.
So my health is at 31 out of 40.
Yep.
Does that change anything for Gowan then as well?
Yeah, it would. It would. It would. Gowan, you were still at stage. Well, no, Gowan stayed the same. He just.
He,
I was always stage 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
I made a slight mistake. Because the disease rules and the poison rules follow the same, and most poisons go at the end of the round, but it's because they specify next to their stages that's when the check comes up. Your natural check, Gowan, will come up in 4 hours. For Corn, it's 2. So. However, Tora, he's going to drain you twice, or suck your blood twice. So as his wounds begin to close, you notice, however, beyond the first one, you don't take any like further effects. So,
Oh, okay.
okay. So after that, however,
Takes 4 bleed damage.
oh, that's right. Wait, do they have to spend an action to stop persistent damage, or is it?
No, but
think
so
it's
they make
flat
a
A flat check.
15 flat check. at the end of their turn. They take the damage and then they do the check.
Okay. So he takes 4 bleed damage, but he does manage to staunch the bleeding. Okay. After him is going to be Knick,
Alrighty.
followed by Genuine.
Which of these two guys looks to be the more beat up of the two?
B1, isn't it?
What is your medical modifier?
Modifier?
I believe it's medical. Medicine.
It is +9.
As of currently, B2 looks to be in the... Yeah, the one beside Tora looks to be in the worst case. Wounds cover his body, and along with it, there are portions of his flesh that have rotted from the negative damage that Tora had inflicted. He is in bad shape. Or it.
Alrighty. So, you're gonna see kind of like, almost like water bending in a way. Connect kind of like get some of the water from the stream to start circling him, and you can see some clouds starting to form around B1 as little bits of lightning start flashing out at him as I'm going to cast Tempest Surge. And so they need to make a basic reflex DC 19.
And that max damage roll.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna roll a 9, and then it's gonna crit. And it's gonna die.
It's a basic save.
Yes, a basic.
He saves with a 21, so he takes 6 damage.
6 damage. Alrighty. 6 electricity.
As the bolt kind of shocks into its body, it reverberates and kind of screeches out. The wounds kind of its entire body going into a spasm. However, as it comes down, fried portions of its body now steaming. It is still barely standing, still trying to maintain a hold of Tora as it's desperately trying to get some more suck.
Okay. And then I am going to I'm gonna raise my shield.
Okay. Alright. Is that everything for your turn though, Connect?
Yes.
After you is going to be Genuine.
Okay. We're gonna pull some underhanded shit here, boys.
Please do.
By that I mean, I'm pulling up the sheet right now. Underhanded assault on B12.
Okay.
Got sneaky.
However, you are not hiding right now. So does it include the hide action as part of?
It doesn't state that I have to be hiding.
Oh wait, does it say you don't have to be hiding? Because in the sneak action, you have to hide.
You sneak up to a foe adjacent to one of your allies. You can roll against the foe you're sneaking up on, even if it's currently observing you. So, I don't think I have to be hiding, because it says even if it's looking at you.
If you're using the sneak action, you would have to be. If
Yeah.
the sneak action requires you to take the hide action before, you have to still meet the prerequisites for the sneak action, I believe.
Yeah, because it doesn't say you take the sneak action. Or you sneak.
It just says you sneak up to.
Okay,
a
so
foe.
you're taking the sneak action, but in order to sneak, you have to hide, which is one action, and you have to have cover of some sort, which with the pillar would be good enough.
I think I'm gonna want to change this. I keep fucking up how to use that ability, and there might be a similar way.
Yeah.
If I go 5, 10, 15, 20 here,
Mm-hmm.
would it count as flanking? Because Tora's there.
Wait, if you went where? Gowan. Oh, with
straight.
Tora? Yeah, it would be flanking on that one.
Okay. Then yeah, we're just gonna stride there,
Gotcha.
and then we will make an attack action with Arcane. Or
Alright.
Sword. That is also a cane.
Let's see the hit.
Just roll good.
13.
Sadly, it misses as it slides off its flesh.
I have not rolled anything over a 9 all night.
Well, roll.
Roll a natural.
Yes.
Roll max, dude. Roll max.
Roll max.
Seeing this blade slide off, I go for the quick swipe with the Gale blade as well.
Let's
Okay,
see it.
this one you should roll max on. I think.
Yeah.
You'll get a.
I have to concur with Alex here. You gotta, you know.
It'd make it more interesting.
So just a +6.
Oh,
I got an
that
18.
that
There you
hits
go.
Yes.
You know how to speak?
with the flat-footed. That does indeed hit him.
This
1d6 plus 4. And then flanking means this. Do I get the sneak?
Yeah.
Yes, because he's flat-footed.
Ah, yes. Okay, so this is normal damage. 7. And then this is sneak attack.
Senti bem meio que
1.
colada no chão.
Of course.
Não, só foi
So 8 damage.
Tora, you see as the creature rears up, angry steam kind of rising from where the bolt kind of struck it and charred away some of its flesh. Your wounds that you left all over it, and it's hungry to feed on you to try to heal its wounds up. However, before it can do that, you see the arc of a glimmering blade slash across from behind it. This slight like arc kind of cut through it, and the creature's growl cuts short as you watch as its head kind of falls, only held by muscle and skin that hangs on as the creature falls into a heap before you. Standing behind it is Genuine, who took the opportunity to give it a good wallop.
Hi, Dora.
I'll give him a curt nod and a smile.
Então, eu tô nessa vibe
Genuine,
aí.
Genuine looks very pleased with himself, even after fucking up so many times in a row.
Well done. He is dead. Yeah, I believe that was all your actions, though. Correct, Genuine?
Yep, I strode, attacked, and attacked. So that was me.
Okay. Following you, Genuine, is back at the top with Gowan.
Excellent.
Come in for the kill.
So if I move here, is he flat-assed to me?
He is flat-assed.
Excellent. And I will take 2
Calling it now.
overhead chops with
Oh.
my glowing red.
Okay, with an overhead swing, you bring it down. Let's see the hit.
Roll max.
Sadly, that misses. That second one does not miss if that survives the minus. Did you already apply the minus?
19 hit, sorry.
Okay,
First one 14 hit, second one 19 hit.
gotcha. The second one does indeed hit with the flat-footed, and would hit normally. 8. Oh yeah, thank you for including the damage with it.
O outro eu peguei. O outro pega aqui em cima.
The first strike barely missing, but as you bring it around for a second one, you slam the blade just on the back of its head as it comes reeling back. A huge scar, almost piercing into the creature's skull. You can see you split both a straight line down the nape of its neck, along with the back of its skull, revealing portions of its brain that lies beneath, but not quite damaging the brain itself. The creature turns, the muscles trying to close the wound to the individual that striked it, but you can tell that it is barely holding on after that strike.
That is my turn.
Don't get it.
Onde que a gente foi, onde a gente
Okay.
foi.
Finish him.
After Gowan, it will be Tora.
Oh, okay. Am I able to stride
O antigo tava dando 2
over here?
Yeah.
No, the guy was dead. Again? Okay.
Yeah, it's just difficult terrain, so it's 10, 20, 25.
Você tá fora, vem
So.
pra gente carregar mais rápido.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be right there. And then I
Quando a gente
will
chama o boss, eles...
flurry of blows. Let's go.
Let's see it.
And is he flat-footed for you too?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so. No one's looking.
Se for baú,
First one, 20.
Plus the 1.
Oh, 21.
That hits.
Sweet.
And
so
another
3
D8.
damage. And
Another
then the
D8.
D8. I don't get the D6 anymore.
Não, calma aí, que eu quero dar uma olhadinha no...
Okay, and then
eu acho
I'll
que
do the
esse
second
negócio
attack.
que tava preso, não
Mhm.
tá mais preso.
That's a 18.
Okay, well, with the first attack, how do you want to do this?
Oh! Oh!
So,
The cre-
which way was he looking?
He's currently looking at Gowan, who just railed him in the back of the head with his greatsword, and as he turns away to look at Gowan, you notice that he is covered in gashes that have partially healed, one of which that is just seeping blood, where Genuine had thrust his sword within, but there is one huge gash that's just along the back of this, what would be this creature's neck, exposing the split flesh and the initial portions of his split skull. You can see just the viscous and kind of like pulsing like brain that lies beneath it, though small. But
Okay. So, as I stride towards him, I'm gonna jump off that pillar, just like jump off the pillar, and then like rake down his body with one claw.
okay, as you leap off the pillar, lightning kind of arcing off your claw into this almost like this crescent arc that slashes down with an immense strength and grace. You slash from the top of the wound at the back of this creature's head and carry it down all the way along its back. And as you do, as the skin breaks and fold, the muscle and organs beneath kind of pop out like like when you pop open a bagel or a biscuit like tube,
Like
just
Oh yeah.
yeah, just kind of like popping out as though it was barely contained underneath the skin. And as it does, the creature reels before falling down, the organs falling out of its back. It lies dead and defeated. Well done, Tor.
Woo,
We
that's
did it.
And now that there are no perceivable enemies left, you see that the shadows and the smoke clinging to my armor now dissipate. And I'm just kind of standing there, a little off kilter, punching my head.
Acho que vou me defender.
Additionally, you feel like
Não sei.
kind of a different effect as well going. You feel kind of like hot-headed, similar to that of like a fever.
Peraí.
It just now is hitting me.
Yeah.
Deixa eu
Uh,
fazer
Well, my claws, like in my tail and stuff, retract. Unless we're still in the counter.
No, you are not.
They retract then, and then if Kinnick's spell is still going, now I just have lightning, I guess, around my hands.
Yeah, just going like in between.
How long does that go for?
It lasts a minute.
Oh,
It'll run out soon.
Yeah, it's just a duration of 1 minute. It
something.
doesn't have sustain.
Yeah, start hitting people.
Ele não tá perdendo vida nem um pouco.
I'm the only one next to him. Oh no.
you just punch.
Fucking
You just
whack him
you
as bird.
punch Gowan, and then immediately you just.
Volta lá e
The axe comes down. The slaughter begins.
Thank you
Corin
again,
starts
Kinnick.
like
vai chegar no médio.
I just want to say thank you.
Corin kind of starts stumbling out from the corner where he ran away from. He's like,
Corn in the corner.
I suppose any of you have an antidote.
Actually, I like look into my I pull open like my rope thing a bit, and I look through my stuff. I do have.
Oh, it's quite convenient. You think it would work?
Let me check your wounds real quick first. I want to check Corin's wounds.
Like, are you trying to treat his like actual wounds, or try to identify what he's afflicted with?
First, I'm gonna identify it. Yeah.
Okay, so that will be. Let me double check here.
Caralho, isso aqui é legal. Pera aí.
11 medicine.
Aqui de verde, que é...
This to identify it, it will be an intelligence medicine check. Because you can just.
Bro, can I identify my own wounds?
Well, actually, you know what? You can do like just a medical medicine check normally to identify. I'll say as well, but you can do intelligence medicine. I'll say.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just do the normal one.
So
since I'm
yeah,
not
cool.
Too smart.
You'll just do the one. Then I have to roll that for you. What's your medicine modifier?
Oh, mine?
Yeah, I
it'd be
can
an 11.
I can find good old corns here.
If it's intelligence, I do want that.
Yeah. What was your modifier again?
Torah.
Torah.
An 11.
An 11. Okay. And for you, your intelligence is.
Eu acho que eu tô meio longe.
Okay. I will say both you and Corin identify this. Corin, you now realize that you had the wrong read of these creatures. The information that you had on them was false. An initially poor observation. They are not, in fact, simply giant leeches. These are gray leeches. Though you know little about their actual species, you both understand that these creatures apply a malady known as gray fever. Tora, you understand that gray fever causes an extended amount of dizziness, fatigue, and sickness across the individual's body, and wreaks havoc, and it can generally cause a person to be bedridden for quite a long period of time, though it has a long onset period. It will generally prolong to its highest state over the course of about 3 to 4 days. However, you forget the exact climax of the disease itself. However, for you, Corin, you know all that, as well as the fact that you understand that the gray fever often, in all cases, if left untreated, is deadly.
Oh shit, I think I realized what I might have.
I think I know too.
I guess I will tell you guys. You both would know this. It's just Tora, you don't know the stage 5, but stage 1 is drained 1, stage 2 is drained 1 and sickened, stage 3 is drained 2 and sickened, stage 4 is drained 3 and sickened, and then stage 5 is dead. You do. I will mention as well. The gray fever has almost no effect on the living. Its deadly effects, at least in Tora's understanding, would never occur in an individual that is not in a unique case like your own, or is otherwise affected by some form of undeath. Some part of their physiology or diet seems to have an effect to create it deadly. As for with your knowledge, Corin, the disease is deadly to undead creatures and revenants. Though for most other creatures that are like a standard like human or otherwise would be like bedridden for a few weeks.
Well, an antidote won't work, but I have an antiplague here. It seems like you're just gonna have to suffer through it until you.
Well, I have to. I should also mention, the gray fever can't be reduced and recovered from naturally until the disease is cured, which I think you have to do through treat disease.
Well,
It takes 8 hours.
well, the anti-plague doesn't actually cure you.
No, I know,
It's
but it.
2 plus 2 to your, yeah.
Yeah, but this
Also, I
you
have to
can't
treat
you can, yeah, you have to treat. They can't recover naturally. So like your anti-plague would like be good in this cases
Disease
where
doesn't treat the disease though.
What is
Treat
it?
Disease just gives you a plus bonus on the next saving throw.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you have to treat wounds to get rid of the disease?
No, treat disease is
No.
specific. Yeah.
Treat wounds just heals you.
Naturally. Yeah, because you can't recover from it naturally, which is naturally meaning normally. Because if like in Daniel's case, if you save, you always go down a step. But since it says you can't do so naturally, you always will be at stage 1. But I believe in the cases of curing, you most likely, I guess, need to receive medicinal healing or like a specific cure or magical healing. But it has an extremely long. I will say, give you the information. Stage 1 doesn't progress until after a few hours. Stage 2 and onward takes days.
Okay.
I don't want to die from this, but has anyone else got hit by him?
I think you got me with that sickness or whatever it is as well. Not feeling that great.
Personally, I'm feeling fine.
That's good to hear.
Isso é bom, mas
You hear an additional like scree from these creatures come from the corridor to the left, and it sounds as though they're drawing close. As the creature's growls and cacophonous like roar comes to a shrill screech before it is cut off, almost silenced mid-squeal, similar to like what the noise was making before Genuine decapitated the one prior. And as if to punctuate a statement a few moments later, you can hear the sound of almost like multiple heavy pieces of almost seem to slap down the corridor to the left before falling at the base of it is a set of 2 of these creatures sliced into what look to be multiple different pieces.
I'm gonna quickly, upon seeing these things fall down, I'm gonna take like a patch from my medicine kit, and I'm going to battle medicine myself.
Okay. As you are kind of like working to apply the battle medicine, which I believe is just you do treat medicine, yeah? Or is it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
just like an
treat
action.
Or
to
treat
treat
wounds,
wounds.
sorry.
And
yeah.
I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna use
Increase
my
the
experience
DC.
medicine, and I'm just gonna do the first one. No, I'll do the first one, the 15.
Okay. So you heal for
2d8.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
yeah 2d8 on a success. Okay.
And then I assurance medicine. So
Well, what's up,
that's 17.
Genuine?
I would like to say that when these things slap to the ground, Genuine immediately goes for a hide action.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. Oh, I make that. Whoops.
I was gonna say,
What's your modifier?
Plus 11.
You slink behind one of the pillars. However, almost as if the moment you see, as you all kind of like look around, now not seeing where Genuine necessarily went, a few moments after these creatures fell into pieces, an individual walking down the slope of the staircase with a you can see initially the glow of his like torch at first, before a couple moments later you see he comes down at the base of the steps, a humanoid individual. He looks to be roughly the same, have the build of a human male, covered in these brown and black tattered rags that kind of stretch down into these almost like long strands that kind of dangle by his knees. He has two hilts that seem to hold curved scimitars, however, one of which in his right hand he is currently bearing. His tattered robe kind of comes into a hood over what looks to be a visored black helmet. And as he kind of brings his torch to the side, he... Yo. And we will be taking our intermission there.
Whoa.
Yo.
Okay. Ooh. Yo.
I will post a reference image for this guy within the please forgive me for those boys watching the stream right now. It might get a little warped for a second, but we will be taking our intermission and be back in 10 minutes. But
10 o'clock.
wow. Alrighty, hi everybody, we are back and getting started once again. Our party now residing within the chamber, surrounded by the carcasses of the leeches that they slayed, as well as these new arrivals kills that have slumped into the room. A otherwise somber mood kind of washes over the chamber, though of course by no means necessarily like threatening, as this new individual arrives. He stands at the face of the chamber, kind of turning, as though he didn't like necessarily expect to see anybody here, but he doesn't really make any aggressive movement, as though like whether you chalk that up to whether or not he feels like he needs to. He doesn't like sheath his sword yet, but oh, yo, I wasn't expecting to see any newborns down here.
Greetings.
Well, hi to you. I guess you fellas, I have to say, making me feel a little sorry for not getting to this a little sooner. But, you notice his visor kind of turns to the two corpses behind you. Seems you handled yourself well, alright. Guess that means that I can skip over any formal martial training, as it seems you can, at least handle your own. You'd be surprised how many, less equipped end up in at least where you're at.
5 minutos.
You a revenant as well.
Ai, morri. Vamos aí.
Não.
Esse filho da puta ali.
But, I guess it doesn't make that much of
Do
a
I
difference.
I sense its motive.
Morri.
Did you already put your, what's your sense motive mod? And for both of you?
Is that just insight, right? Or
It's
I guess-
perception.
Perception, yeah.
11.
11. Okay. And then for you, oh, I have it. Never mind. Derp. Small brain. Corn. You, sense, like, literally no, like, what's the word for it? No like pause in his voice or break. The proof is kind of in how he says it. You've listened to countless people talk to you over the course of your life, and you've believed yourself to have become very good at catching a person on their shit. And during this question, it's almost as though he's heard it more times than you can probably count, and the same response is what he's always given. And you immediately have no reason you sense no deception in what he says. You almost sense like a tiredness to the question, as though like he's had to explain himself at this like point more times than he probably cares to. But yeah, you can tell he's not lying, and you can tell he doesn't necessarily hold any like repugnance to the people. It's more, you can sense that there's not necessarily that he's hiding anything, but the thing, like, even a simple response is no, carries a bit of history to it, if you know what I mean. As for you, Kinnick, you basically get the sense that he's, not lying as well. You have no reason necessarily you have no reference to this individual, and you're also quite unfamiliar with dealing with humans, but at least using your own kin as reference, he's showing none of the twitching or signs that a Ratchin would when they're lying. So he also smells okay.
That's what matters.
Sorry for the questions. I tend to ask a lot of them. You don't also happen to have some cure for the gray fever they carry, do you?
Oh, shit. I forget about that bit, but I can't help you much with it, but the missus can. I doubt it will really cost you anything at all.
The missus have a name?
She can give it to you if she wants. But to most I call her Mrs., but it's her official title's the Shrine Maiden, or the Shrine Guardian. But she...
Sounds like you know this place, know our situation pretty well. Just who are you?
Name's Han, but you can call me whatever you like. I've been here more than likely longer than most. Last I remember, most of the folk that were here before me aren't anymore. And yeah, I've been through this routine quite a few times. You're definitely not the first newborns I've found, and well, if you're lucky, you'll be the last, but as it stands, that's probably not going to be the case. I can definitely say the largest batch that's come through. But if you're going to start spitting wind of asking me the hows and whys of, how you ended up here, what cruel fate turns you around and pulled you here, or you start crying, I'm sorry, I'm the wrong guy to ask. I just handle the violent matters in town. That and teaching lads at least how to hold a sword, as most of the fellas that come in here don't. But regardless, I'm happy to say that you seem at least more useful at defending yourself. I guess it's wait and see whether or not you're as friendly as I'll try to be. But as for the Grey Plague, the missus can probably help you with it.
Name's Corn, by the way.
Oh. Yeah. He, as though you get the sense, I'll say with your perception check, that this guy he kind of feels like the only sense that you've gotten from this is I'll say both, Corin from his perception and Gowan. He exudes the almost like persona of a a quartermaster or a general who has seen far too many new people to really and he understands the role and the likelihood or the reality that those newcomers probably will have to face, especially in war. And the familiarity is a rarity, and often like it seems he's very much like numb to the to and not seemingly very quick to catch on to the friendly like normal social cues. So you can likely assume he's quite a few individuals that have been in your role likely weren't in it for long. Or at least the position that the song and dance that you two are doing right now. But as he kind of takes in your name and kind of brings the torch up, you notice that he the torch kind of comes up to one of those crystalline like mountings on the wall that kind of protrude out, and as he does, you see it illuminates and almost like burns off these small leech creatures that seem to be sucking onto the crystal, as the flames just kind of kill them off. As he kind of takes a step over to the next one and does the same thing. Well, I'm happy you're not dead. Again, I'm sorry I didn't get to this sooner. This place used to be a lot safer, at least initially, but we don't have the numbers to sacrifice to have people watching all the time. So I come down here every month or so to, as he kind of gestures to the dead smaller leeches on the crystals as well to the larger ones that he killed. Did you see any other ones back by the pool?
No.
I believe so.
Annoying little bastards they are. Grey leeches. As far as I know, they're relatively unique to here. Well, especially deep caverns. They like to feed on this crystal stuff here. Awfully, whatever their bite is, they grow quick and they're pretty quick in numbers, so if you're not very keen on keeping them down, well, soon enough we could have a bunch of them around, but I've done my best. As for the plague, harmless to most living folk, not so harmless to you fellas, sadly. This stuff, as he kind of taps onto the crystal with his torch, something they suck out of it seems to not bode well with whatever's keeping you here. But I appreciate you handling those two. I would have had to do it, but I can probably call it here. Most of the ones that are in the tunnel by the pond are babies. I'll come around tomorrow or the next day to handle it. And anyway, it's getting late, so...
I assume you know the way out.
I do. You're welcome to tag along. Do these other fellas speak common? I apologize,
Yes.
There's been... I can't tell you how many times... newborns have shown up and... not. Makes it a bit harder to explain. Well...
There's two behind you. Did you take them out yourself?
No, he almost like glances back as if he forgot that they were there, but... Yeah. But I've done this quite a few times. They're simple creatures. Once you see one and dealt with it a few times, you kind of get a rhythm to it. Most of them kind of have the same habits. I'm sure if you were in my position, you'd do the same. But don't take that as too bolstering of a confidence to start picking shits, I guess. Just because you're revenants, I won't go easy on you, but there's no reason for us not to be friendly with one another.
At that, Genuine appears out of his hiding place and starts saying,
Oh, I always like making new friends.
Well, holy
Hello?
shit. It's not often I don't spot people. Good on you, little bird.
pops up with it.
So you said something about a town?
Not much of a town anymore, but it's more than likely gonna be your home from here on out. Well, the outer world don't want you, but we'll always need you here. So long as, you don't start doing something stupid like a few other fellas. But yeah, it's Ash Point, located in the center of the Misted Isle.
Tem ninguém aqui.
What exactly do you mean by the outer world? Is this place some sort of?
Yeah, it's not
Is it
really.
apart from reality?
I don't know. That's a question for the missus. She knows all the finer details. I just call whatever's beyond here outer. I haven't seen the outside in some time. But yeah, as for the technical details, I don't know. I ain't bloody dumb, but she's been here longer than me. And when I got here, I didn't get to some of the privileges that you fellas are gonna get.
How long have you been here?
Acho que eu achei, velho. Achei.
You see, kind of like, you can't see his eyes because it's just mostly because of like how dark it is in here, as well as the fact that like the visor is so close. But you can definitely tell he seems to like ponder the question for a moment before. I don't know.
Well, I'm excited. Let's get out of here. I dislike the caverns. Very dark and dreary of sorts.
I'd probably say like a decade in a few decades. But yeah, as the bird says, what are your guys' names again? I got Karen.
Ah, não. Cuidado, já fica
Corin.
esperto pra ficar atrás de rolê.
Sorry.
Porque esse cara aí é o
Corin.
cara da mira.
Genuine bird eye, at your service.
Não.
Can I just call you Genuine?
That is totally fine, yes.
Cool.
Kinnick.
Nick?
Kinnick.
Oh. Sorry.
Ah, a gente vai dar um pulo, né?
And he kind of looks.
You go next.
No, he said.
Just Gowan is fine.
I don't do this often, but I have a quote, or at least some suspicion that you guys will probably be useful. I'll do well to try to remember your names. Sorry for forgetting. I go through this song and dance more times than I care to count. But, yeah, it's not too far out from Ash Point. You're welcome to follow me. Any questions?
How many
you
more? I was just going to ask, how many more of us, or how many more like us are in this settlement of yours?
Outfielders or squatters?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Sorry. Outfielders are just how I refer to the ones that actually go out. Squatters are all the ones that never leave. Not because anything's inhibiting them. Most folk, not everyone here knows how to fight, knows how to defend, and the outer world isn't pretty, especially to us, or to you. They find it safer here, trying what they can to make a community of it. Those are the squatters. If you don't plan to
Tem uns rolê aqui que eu quero dar uma checada.
squat, I'm assuming you'll be an outfielder, if you care to. But there aren't many outfielders around. The common passage out in and out of the barrier is damaged since an incident not too long ago. So we haven't had contact of a lot of the ones still friendly with us. But I'd say the population of Ash Point's around 80, maybe 90. Yes, the bird in the back.
So you said not everyone here knows any fancy blade tricks or anything of the sort? Is there any deciding quality on who becomes a revenant, or have you noticed anything
Sorry to say,
narrative?
wrong guy to be asking these questions.
Well, I thought you might have experience.
I've seen a lot of goddamn revenants. No harm. Doesn't mean I know they... It's... They're like recruits, like anything else. But they're recruits that didn't ask for it. Not all of them are warriors, most of them. We've had bakers, performers, clerks, clergymen, warriors and mages. Whole run of the mill, everything you got. And most of them try to do their part. Can't say that's all of them. I haven't seen any exceeding quality in any of them, or some standard, if that's what you're asking. To me, it seems like random bullshit. I hate to see them pulled here. A lot of these folk didn't ask to be here, but they're here. I can at least be thankful they're trying to make a home of it. Another common question, if yeah, you got pulled here by some dash of fate, but you still die like anybody else, so if you don't want to be here, there's a cliff by Ash Point. You're welcome. Just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. He kind of just points at you with his scimitar.
I was gonna ask, not that I'm saying I will or not, but is there options beyond a cliff? I am a little light on the whole falling thing.
He almost like does this like pose as though like he's you get the feeling he's mentioning it because people have like asked or like done something. So it's not like he's saying I want you to kill yourself. He's more just saying, yeah.
It's on the table if you prefer.
Yeah. If it comes to that, just talk to me, I guess.
Well, as long as it's not slicing. If you can tell, I may have had a previous experience.
Beggars can't be choosers. As he kind of gestures helplessly to his scimitars.
Maybe a quick little stab would work. I have no fear of that.
Normally it's not this positive. I have to say it's a welcome change of pace.
Yes. No, I have no options towards dying. I have things I need to do. But it's always nice to know what's available.
He kind of like turns his head as if he's like, you know, but he's like, okay, sure. Well, whatever questions you got, you can ask on the way. He just kind of starts to like walk up the path to the left, and you guys are welcome to just kind of like chime in as he's like kind of like stepping his way up the. You guys kind of follow him behind the like on this like kind of crooked like slope that kind of it's a small corridor once again, and you notice that along the walls wherever there are crystals, there are those small like leech carcasses of the like ones that were like clinging to the crystals that he seemed to have gone one by one and like burned off. Occasionally the room kind of opens up and you notice that in the small shadows of the room around that kind of are illuminated by his torch, you do see a few like diced up or slashed like leech carcasses. Oh fuck, I forgot to mention a thing. When those like leeches died, their bodies kind of like emanated like a glow. This small like fiery like light almost like exited from them before like dispersing and spreading to each of you that you just kind of like absorbed. That was a detail I forgot to left out. That happens anytime. So unless you
I know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm
So,
just
Mr.
excited.
Scimitar Man, I have another question for you.
E eu vou dar uma olhada
What?
assim.
What is the little fire thing we may or may not have absorbed from the giant
Eu tô ligado.
slithery
Esse
leech
personagem,
boys?
ele não é tão móvel. Ainda mais quando você não tem double jump. E você não tá rápido. Achei, boss.
Again, I'm not the best person to be asking these questions as he kind of keeps walking, but
Esse aqui eu vou esperar você, cara. que esse-
I've heard the same stuff from
Vai ter um cara aqui.
most of the revenants. I can't see it. As, I'm, as I said, not a revenant, but stuff, well, anything with any form of life,
Quantos você tem?
soul in it. Once it dies, that essence generally leaves. But to my understanding, you revenants, like a certain other form of creatures, hold a particular gift. The missus could explain it better, but you basically absorb it. I doubt these leeches will really have much. There's not much mind in them, or life to begin with. They're big, but there's not much in there. As he kind of taps his blade, like the flat side of his blade, on like the cheek of one of the ones that are like slashed against the like wall, and almost as he does, you notice that it's like black orby like eyes just kind of like glaze over. That just kind of like reflect the light, almost as if to punctuate. Like he's basically saying these things are like they don't got much.
Brain.
Yeah, they don't have much like life to them. But they're basically like big parasites.
Normalmente ele
Oh yeah, they're
tentar fazer
leeches.
rapidão pra gente não perder muito tempo em
Well,
nível.
I'm feeling livelier already. I don't know about you boys.
Olha. Sorry.
Well, happy to hear that. But as he kind of finds, you guys now find yourself kind of stepping towards a staircase that has been like kind of carved and chiseled. It's still rough stone, but it's been carved to the point where it's like a relatively like almost like natural stone looking staircase that seems to lead up in this narrow corridor, and you can see what looks to me grayish like sunlight kind of breaking through just at the turn at the head of it. And as you can see, he kind of like drops the torch in a small grated like
A gente já não jogou 5 vezes?
not cauldron.
A gente já não jogou
They're those like metal grated like nets that you like put like kiln. Is it no?
Porque daí você tem um personagem.
Regardless, this almost like
Brazier, or like a brazier?
yeah, a brazier that kind of like sits next to the lip of the staircase. He just kind of drops the torch in it, and as he kind of like, you guys follow him up and out, and soon enough, as you're following him out of this staircase, you find yourself exiting out of what looks to be the lip of a this almost like naturally carved cavern, almost like naturally broken in the side of a cliff face, where the staircase has been carved up into. And as you kind of are marching out to it, you can feel decorating the side of the cavern's like or the mouth of the cavern is what looks to be like two similarly lit braziers. However, they seem to be glowing this like bluish light rather than the standard like flame. Additionally, as you kind of are now stepping out into the freedom released from the otherwise like choking or sorry, it's not coming out of the edge of a cliff face. It's like just a big like uprooted like rock that you guys are like coming out of is the best way I can describe it. It's not like a huge cliff face. It's just like you're coming out of like a protrusion in the ground, like a rock or stone. Yet even so, as you kind of step out onto the almost like damp grass that seems to have just recently been rained on, you can sense a slight precipitation in the air that kind of complements the relative humidity. As you are now stepping out into this, as you're standing on top of this like tall standing like cliff that is just overlooking this like massive clouded and misted region of dense and densely polluted like, or not polluted, but densely like thicketed like forestry that stretches out as far as the eye can see to what look to be in the far distance that almost wraps in an entire like circular thing along the edges of this region. The only differentiating portion of from the mountainous protrusions, the break in the forestry, the long-running rivers that kind of stretch throughout it, and the sitting hamlet that sits in the middle of it, only topped by a large what looks to be like ruined keep at the top of a large ridge is the entire region seems to be surrounded by what looks to be a densely fogged like stone wall that stretches literally like hundreds upon hundreds of feet into the sky.
Porque o moleque tá sujo.
Before almost like just ending.
So like we can't even see the end? That's how.
No, it's not. You can see it, but you can't see. Like, I guess you can't really see the end of it. It's just the mist gets so like thick as it gets like farther up. It's almost as if like clouds are kind of like blocking out the top of the wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. Never mind. There's no walls. You can't see the walls. I'm sorry. You can. Well, I'll say you can kind of see them. You just like.
Whiplash.
My apologies. But it's mostly like there's like a wall of like fog that just surrounds the entire region. But as he kind of like steps out onto the open ridge and kind of like takes in the wind, kind of like looks back to you. Welcome to the Misted Isle.
Well, it's very homely appearance.
So he kind of like looks over and kind of points towards the out towards the what would be kind of directly ahead off of the ridge that you're currently standing on. There is a hamlet kind of like hidden in the center of it. You could see it's filled. A lot of its details are difficult to make out, but you can see that directly in the center of it, kind of arisen from the like top of it, or in the center of it, is what looks to be a lit like massive like I don't want to say lighthouse, but like brazier, if you will. Like it's a tall like wooden tower with a huge like kiln lit on the top of it, and the fire's just kind of like burning. But that light, as though you were looking at like the hope and the otherwise although beautiful but dreary region is the hamlet of Ashpoint, as far as you can tell, decorated by small ruined cottages and structures, surrounded by broken walls and otherwise. It seems as though it is it is somewhat populated, but you can't necessarily see the life of it beyond the only light that's kind of like illuminating above it. If there was no light to kind of discern it, it just looked like an empty hamlet from this far away.
Off we go then.
It's pretty homely.
Well, shouldn't be too hard to get down from here. Just try not to get lost, and if any of the trees move, don't go near them. Well,
Are these trees a certain creature?
Not obvious. Ominous.
I've heard some folk call them hangman trees, but there aren't many of them. But they like to set baits. They're kind of similar to the leeches, but a hell of a lot tougher. Even I'd probably have a bit of a tough time handling one alone, but at least they're few in number. They don't necessarily go.
With us.
No, did you say you kind of cut out there? Did you say you were coming? Is he coming with you?
I said, yeah. I asked him, is he coming with us? As he kind of explained it.
I got most of the known passages to the Pool of Beginnings, but I can save going back there later. Anyway, wandering your way, I can't just leave you sitting here. Mrs. would probably be mad at me. She, unlike me, hasn't ever wavered. So yeah, I'll lead you there. Shouldn't be too much farther. You can see it, but there's a few ways you can take to get there faster. No, and while I'm here,
Have you, Mr. Scimitar Man?
Han, but yeah, Scimitar Man. I've heard worse names.
Scimitar Han.
While we're so high, I guess I'll take this point to mention. See that fog all the way up there? deadly to anybody walking out of it, but you.
Vai, bora. Vamos sair daqui.
Not deadly walking in, but most things you'll feel from it is you'll get a bit tired. At least that's my understanding of it. Can't get through it. As far as I know from other revenants, there's a wall some way through the fog. May look like just fog, but there's a wall at some point. But directly south of this cliff, you look that way. And as he kind of directs back towards where, you notice that there's a river that kind of like runs down and breaks through the trees, or the tree line, and kind of almost like leading your eye all the way down to where to the end of his finger. You notice that he's pointing where the fog kind of comes to this like thick point, but you can see protruding out of it is this like massive, like stone structure. These two massive like pillars kind of standing up from it and kind of like roofing off. It kind of looks like the what's that monument called? The one where like Lincoln's like sitting in it. I forget the name of the building. Is it the Lincoln Monument?
Lincoln Monument?
There, I didn't want to just say the Lincoln Monument. I thought,
Memorial, I think it's technically.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because I thought the Lincoln Monument was the statue, but yeah. But it
It's
kind of
the
has.
Washington Monument, where
but
it's a giant obelisk.
It kind of has that like T shape where it's like it kind of stretches out and is like stone roofed over, but instead of like pillars and like an open face thing, it's just a closed face and you can see a massive like door sitting at the top of it, but it's more intricate
So it's
details
kinda
are kind
like
of
the Parthenon.
kinda, yeah. It's a massive stone structure that seems to peek out of the abyss, or not the abyss but the mist, and as he kind of like points over, that'd be kind of scary. You guys, this is just the abyss. Over there, there's the Demogorgon.
Horror swimming around.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite.
I should also mention that the skies are like choked over. It's just completely like gray clouded, as though it was like going to rain at any moment. But as he kind of like points back to the gate, that is the mist gate. That is the one, at least, known entrance and exit from here. At least now that you'll see. As he kind of just gestures towards back to Ash Point, but he doesn't necessarily see a point in describing it when he can't like point at it. Yeah.
You stuck here then?
I used to think that, but I've come to like what I do here. That opinion isn't shared though. As he kind of like starts to walk, you'll come to find pretty quick. Sure, the living or otherwise can pass here, either by accident or at least never through the gate. Sometimes the mist wanders, picks up a straggler or two, or there's been cases where revenants have brought folk back. But the living can come here. They can't leave. I'm in one such position. But it's not so bad once you get used to the rain and, you know, I think a gray color palette matches my complexion. He says as he's clad in cloth and armor, but yeah. But one thing's not to complain about this place, though we can't. A lot of folk can't leave. Most of them come here by choice. Hell, it's safer here than a lot of places out there. At least as far as I last heard.
Did you come here by choice?
Maybe I'll tell you that story once you do a bit, but for now, no, I didn't come here by choice. But we all got a purpose. Somebody's making the schedule on our lives, at least. Well, at least that's the most poetic way I'd like to think of it. Be awfully dull if, at least lads in your position, if it wasn't some form or reason. But I guess once you see so many, it's hard to really see that reason. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Watch the rocks here. It's a bit of a difficult step and a long way down. As he kind of starts to kind of like precariously like move down a like natural like stair or not a carved staircase that kind of runs down the like ridge. You guys all kind of like watching your steps and moving down. Unless somebody had another question for him.
I'd just like to say that Genuine, he's not being very careful. He's kind of just like hopping around, looking over the sides and stuff. So he's not being too careful about this.
Nick is kind of like looking up towards the skies and just, you can see that he's a lot happier now that he's outside.
There's two kinds of characters in this campaign.
Just like fuck, and then
I can be dark and brooding too. I'm just not.
I was, now
in his notebook, being dark and brooding.
I hate everyone.
Now that I'm outside, it's nice.
They're all dumber than me.
They kind of are. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Bro.
I didn't
Sorry,
know.
we can't all be big brain.
I didn't know you wrote, Gowan. As he kind of opened up his journal, and it's just hate.
Kill.
I don't know that many words.
I do have more questions I want to ask him, but I think I'll hold off on it
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm pestering him.
Yeah.
No.
Some varieties.
I'm sorry if he's not necessarily
I'm getting, like,
mean, but
No, I get it.
I'm getting like a tired old veteran vibe from him.
Yeah.
He's just the kind of like older guy. It's like, I've been here for years. I know every fucking nook and cranny in this hole.
it's like he's giving you the fair, like you see he gives you the like minimum, like, song and spiel, but like you get the feeling that there have been people in your role that have like both not been in it for long and people who have like, abused that
Antagonism.
yeah, that they were kind of
Evil men.
evil boys. But nonetheless,
Cut them down.
stop a stream. No, I'm kidding. He takes off his helmet and it's just Kirito.
Oh Jesus.
Yo, is the Mrs.
Your name
Osborne
isn't Han.
Punished Kirito. He's got like you guys make your way down the stone stair, the stony steep, before kind of landing yourself back onto the a green landing. But soon enough, you find that as you approach the forestry, that there is some semblance of a trail that used to look as though it was well kept. You can see that there at certain points, Han kind of has to like slash down a like branch or two and kind of just kick it to the side, as it's not really like well kept anymore. As you're kind of progressing through, you notice that there are like stone structures half buried in like the dirt and covered over by like vegetation, as though they've been like ruins for like a long time, as though there was like something here before like or some larger settlement before it just fell to ruin and it's just like been grown over by vegetation and like overgrowth. It's hinted at by the ruins that kind of dot the path and around. You can see kind of glimpsing through the trees, as well as the unlit and broken like lamp posts that kind of sit half teetering over the like the path, or completely fallen over. And as you're kind of making your way through, you do notice that there are animals that are kind of like fluttering over to the side and otherwise. You notice Knick, Corin, and Tora. You notice that a pair of like birds kind of like land, mixed birds. None of them really like look the same, but they all land on like on the same branch tree. Two of which look to be entirely normal, but one of which you notice seems to have almost like the wound, as though it had been like shot by like an arrow, decorated like over its like heart. You can see stretching like glowing veins kind of coming over its like feathered body before kind of like flutters off.
Wait, like a revenant?
Yo,
scar?
they're just like us.
Whoa.
Revenant birds, dude.
Capital bird.
Yo, bro, you have a
Oh.
revenant bird right in front of you. What do you mean?
Yeah, but he different though.
You're not a bird. You're a kenku.
I am bird at heart.
That was odd.
Kind of was, but you kind of just have to go with how things are thrown at you, I suppose.
Well, I'm having a good time. What are you guys talking about?
There are some birds. Were they pretty birds?
Yeah.
Quite beautiful birds.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, there was an ugly ass bird. Deformed.
Right in the middle.
Truly ugly beyond belief. I couldn't stand the sight of it.
Honestly, the only ugly birds I can like think of, at least immediately, are like vultures. But vultures I like.
Vultures are
Pigeons.
cool.
Damn,
as shit,
bro.
What do you mean?
Damn, bro.
Vultures are metal as fuck.
No, they have like cool factor, but they ugly though.
They're ugly with it.
Pigeons kinda
Vultures and
ugly with
turkeys.
it.
I think turkeys
Yo,
look
pigeon-
ugly too.
Yeah,
Pigeons got that nice
They got the
little,
snood.
like, fluorescent vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, vultures have like that metal vibe, but that doesn't mean that they're like pretty. Like a red robin,
I think
they got
vultures are
like
great.
femboy vibes, and then a vultures that's got like
Serial killer vibes.
UOB vibes.
Yeah.
Bosses.
What?
UOB?
Or UB,
Oh.
ugly bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, ugly bastard. I was like, ugly old bastard? I was like,
Sorry,
"Oh,
my bad.
I get the
I think
vibe
I-
as
of
well as
like
ugly.
the
I thought-
bald
I think I
guy
mixed-
that's like tatted up. That's
Yeah.
what I get from seeing vultures. They cool
but no.
boys. They're very cool.
You notice that he kind of like brings you guys to a stop. As you guys are kind of like talking, he kind of watch your step there. As he kind of like stops Tora, as you kind of like stop your foot, and you notice that there's like a string stretched across the path.
Oh. Is that meant to stop us from going further?
Not you necessarily. Wouldn't hurt you. He kind of like moves a bit of branches anyway, and you notice that the string is like to a pulley system that seems to have what looks to be it's just holding up a like large rock on the like other end that's just suspended over like a large branch, not over where the trap is, mind you, but it seems that when that like the string is pulled, some like net comes up. Like the rock is the counterweight.
Oh, okay. Well,
Vou dar uma olhada
Thanks
lá
for
no final,
telling me.
vou deixar você pegar os dados.
I've picked up a habit of as he's kind of like keeps walking of at least wanting to have the first word with the newborns or new arrivals. It's always good to have a first read. There are certain folk that kind of have an aura about them.
Isso que faz.
Obviously, that doesn't happen often, but
Peço deles.
I'd like to know if there's any apparently obvious red flags.
Bora. Peraí.
Because acting reactively, I've learned, can leave lasting effects. We're here.
I understand.
As he kind of seems to just want to move on from the situation, he kind of like pushes aside two branches, and as you see it, at the end of the path seems to approach a large wooden archway, not connected to any walls, just kind of like two logs set up and just kind of like tied together to kind of form an arch, just to mark the foundation or beginning of Ash Point. And as you kind of like enter into the outer like edges of it, you notice that a large majority of these like huts or cottages, a lot of them have kind of like fallen over or kind of been reduced to ruin. The wooden ones that have kind of like fallen to like rain and without care. But you see a few of them, although kind of still in poor condition, some of which are maintained to at least a decent point. You can see small smokestacks kind of rising out of some of the like chimneys of some of the cottages. You notice that in the center of the town, there's a tall standing crystal of this like that similar like bluish or like blue crystal that you saw in the pool below. It seems to match, or at least be the point one of which that the largest of which is just stretched out of the like center of the like pool of what you now know was the pool of beginnings. This seems to be like the top of it, and you notice that there is like large running like cracks that kind of like stretch across it, and it is completely dull. It is basically just like black, or like a very 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 like dark bluish black. Like it has no light in it. It didn't have light in it in the what's up.
Since I grew up near Elysimere, do these hold any resemblance to like the Aether vents?
Go ahead and make a intelligence.
Do you make it?
I do. I was just what's your modifier for Arcana? Or
Nine.
religion.
9 would be the Arcana, which is higher than my religion.
I'll just say I rolled a natural 20, but so that's a 29, which is enough for me to tell you that it is completely the same in form. You've only necessarily seen Elysimere's, at least in depictions. Actually, at least in your education, it was a part of the tutorship to at least bring yourself to view one of the world veins, one of which that is so close to Elysimere. It was kind of like a field trip.
Yeah, that's my daddy.
And flipping through your notebook, you find that a saved page has an old sketching of yours that it was of the Elysimere like world vein, although slightly like much larger than this one. You notice that much of this is buried beneath the surface. This is matching, at least in shape and structure, to the world vein that you saw near Elysimere. However, it's uncommon for world veins to be blue. All of them, at least in depictions and knowledge-wise, they carry a greenish tone. However, they do carry like slight alterations depending on which like world vein it is, in relation to which etheric vent it is relative to. So like the pyromancy one carries a greenish red, for example, but they all carry the green like standard. You know,
there's no green.
It is it is completely like bluish black, but it's black. It's black because of the fact that it seems to be emitting like no light beyond the dullest like light. It was completely dark when you saw it below as well. You can see a few people kind of sitting around their cottages that kind of like look to you. Some of which kind of like turn around and kind of go into their households, but others just kind of like as though they haven't like they have no reaction to it. You also notice that some of the more notable buildings that you find within town, there is a large, roughly about a double-story like L-shaped building that kind of sits in the center of the hamlet as well. Directly like overshadowed from behind it is this like massive like ridge that seems to kind of stretch up and kind of like shadow over the village or small township. It's basically a village at this point, or a hamlet. Is this like ruined like keep that like sits on the top of this like ridge, but you notice that portions of its walls have like caved in and it's fallen like to overgrowth and otherwise. However, sitting directly underneath this thing's shadow is this double-story building that seems to emit the immense aura of being a tavern. You notice that a large colored sign kind of decorates the top of it that just says the Dead End.
That's a good name.
I get it.
That's a really good name for a tavern, especially where it's at. They're clever people.
As he seems to kind of like be walking you through the hamlet, you can see a few people kind of like sitting on their around the edges or kind of like playing around. See a few people kind of like wave to Han as he kind of passes by, and he kind of gives him some semblance of like a gesture. You see some people have like visible death marks, others don't, and just look to be wholly like human or other like. To make it easier, though you're not like undead, I'm just gonna say like either not a revenant or non-undead, you know, in referral, you know? Because I'm just using it the very loose term of undead that you know, died and then came back, you know? But yeah, you're not like a zombie or anything like that.
Yo, the cleric's about to channel divinity and we all have to run.
All right. As he kind of like marches you along the around the path or otherwise, he seems to bring you. Oh my God, I'm fucking stupid. I'm small brain, dude. How do I?
What happened?
What?
Nothing.
You okay?
The
There's
crystal.
actually a dragon in the middle of it. Oh my God! Destroyed everything.
No. I just. This is why I'm just so out of it. The crystal is not in like the center of town. I apologize. I was thinking of my. I don't know why, but I immediately like referenced. Do you guys remember like the first Scuffed Rolls? That like spire that I described.
Oh yeah, and the.
I was thinking of that for some reason, but it's not this. It's in the wrong spot. As you follow Han through the streets of the small hamlet, you quickly approach directly at the edge of the not necessarily at the complete edge of the village, but beneath the keep that kind of lies above it. It's underneath like the ridge that kind of stretches above it. Is this almost like massive, not massive, but like large cathedral-like structure. A portion of its ceiling is kind of like caved in. It's built almost as though it has 4 protruding like arms that kind of pillar and plant into the ground. There's a large, you know what, just to make everything round out, that is in the center of town, you know.
There's a crystal in the center of town.
It's
boy.
back in the center, boys.
Whoa! It was there and it wasn't.
Nah, but
And it
It's
was
a
gone,
teleporting
that's it,
crystal!
and it was back.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Regardless, this 4-armed structure sits in the center of the town, surrounded by all the other small like cottages and otherwise. It has 4 staircases that kind of stretch up to it, on all sides of its surface. It has a large domed roofing that seems to be this almost like bluish like gray stone that seems to decorate and contrast the entirety of the structure. You notice that there is like metal decorations as though its previous grandeur of whatever was before has kind of like faded but not fully disappeared. It is damaged but not crumpled. Portions of its like roof have caved in, and portions of its staircases and walls have suffered damage as though there was some like battle that took place around it. However, as Han kind of approaches one of the staircases, he kind of stops and kind of looks up to up the staircase where you can see Mrs. We have a few newborns. And as he kind of like says that, you notice your eyes kind of look up into the shadowed portion up by one of the open-faced, because the structure doesn't have any doors. It just kind of has like archways that lead into the center of it, where you can see poking out in the middle is that crystal. It's in the same spot. It's just in the structure, which is what I fucked up on. But the regardless, you can see that there is this. It's difficult to make out all of her features beneath the shadow, but it is what looks to be a human woman. Her features like are exceedingly beautiful and sharp. She has a very like pale and fair complexion. These almost like piercing and intelligent like blue eyes that you can even see from this far away. She is wearing these very like almost like religious draped robes that is decorated by a pointed golden or silver collar around her neck. She has very short cut and kind of well-combed hair that is almost this like snowish or like bluish white. I will post a image in Scuffed Rolls for your own reference. The stream is
She's a hornbill.
stream is gonna get a little scuffed for a second.
Wholesome.
But you can see she's currently sitting on top of the staircase, and what seemed to be sitting alongside her was a what looks to be a little girl, no older than the age of 7, currently holding like a she seemed to have been holding like a large book and had been reading to the little girl, but seems to whisper something to her before closing it and handing off to her. The little girl kind of hops up and kind of like runs down the staircase, and before as she kind of like stops, you can see she kind of looks over to you fellas and just, greeting, misters. She kind of like runs away. As she looks at you, you notice that her entire like right eye is like pitch black with a glowing like green dot with like the stretching marks of like a death mark that kind of stretches from her like her right eye, as though she had been like shot. You can see with the woman on the staircase kind of like picks herself up with a grace and form that is unmatched in most regal places of practice, and as she kind of takes a few steps down the staircase before coming to meeting with you all.
Dá uma salvada. Não entra portinho de.
Greetings.
Me dá
No.
She chokes.
No. I thank you, Han, for bringing these people to me. I hope he hasn't been too rough with you all. Without any further introductions, I am the Shrine Guardian, or in other cases called the Shrine Maiden. But if you have any further names that you'd like to refer to me as, it matters little.
Ouch.
I assume that Han handled introductions already.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
yeah.
He was very nice.
As nice as I can be, miss. I'll be sitting by the staircase if you need anything from me. But my initial read on them, I doubt they have any bad intentions. But you can see he kind of like looks over to you all, and you can see as though he gives you a bit of vouching, but you can almost feel like a piercing gaze that kind of just like, you know, like it's like the chill of like a predator, like looking at like prey. Like
Don't do
a
anything stupid.
It's like the you can date my daughter gaze, but like I'll kill you if you do anything.
no.
Everything
Are you?
Bye, Scimitar Han.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere. This is where I am normally. But sorry, you can't get rid of me that easy. As
Situation. Squawk.
oh please, Han, try not to be too harsh on them. I'm certain that there are many questions that you have, and well, I'm quite certain that I understand the process can be quite tiring. And
Eu tenho 150 de. 150. 150
Oh.
dias.
are you feeling unwell?
Você quer.
As she kind of like looks to
Fever.
Corn and
Não,
and,
vamos dar uma. Shibiri- shibiri pop.
Gowie.
Gowan.
That was the other one with the disease.
Tá? Porque normalmente é assim, né?
Yeah, those
He's
leech
in-
creatures in the caverns over there, they managed to get their sickness onto us. Han said that you could do something about that, perhaps?
Well, my good sirs, I will do everything I can to ease the ailments that you're taking. Please, come inside. She kind of gestures and kind of gracefully steps up the staircase. Han kind of tailing a few steps behind. But all of you kind of make your way and step into the pinnacle of this, what looks to be almost like religious like monument. You notice that the entire structure is built surrounding a large like pool of that similar like brackish blue water that has gone relatively like it still illuminates an amount of light, and it seems to be like there seems to be like no bottom to it. It just is this circular pool built in the center of the monument, only like centered by the obelisk like pillar, which is connected to it by a multitude of like stone bridges that kind of stretch because when you kind of like reach the top of it, the entire like structure is kind of like a square that kind of like recedes down in staircases until it reaches the central pool, if that makes any sense. It kind of plateaus before it reaches the pool, so there is some like benches and otherwise that kind of like to sit around it, but beyond that you notice that there are like a small break of staircases in the center of each of the faces of the monuments, like inner staircases that seem to lead to doorways, presumably to rooms or otherwise that are like beneath the floor you're currently standing on at the top of it. But regardless, she seems to kind of lead you all down to the base of it, directly beside these pools. And as she kind of like, she turns to you, Corin.
Fala pra mim, ó. Deixa eu ver. Deixa eu ver.
If you would please. Your hand, I guess.
Vou pra esquerda, não sei. Vou pra direita. Não.
She kind of takes your hand, and she kind of like reaches another out to you, Gowan.
We're now betrothed, Gowan.
Yes.
This was all
We
to
have
bait
plus 2
you.
AC.
This was all to bait you into taking the ceremony spell.
Fala aí, você vai. Fala pra mim.
Oh, well. As she kind of like goes silent for a moment, you can feel this almost like warmth or light kind of like generate from her hands and onto you. You can quickly feel the disease begin to recede as she casts cure disease on both of you.
Eu nem falava,
Whoa.
Large.
Okay.
That will be 500 gold pieces. Don't worry, we have a monthly payment plan of... No, I'm kidding.
This is like Animal Crossing, where it's like, here, I've put a condition on you. Now
Just Tom Nook.
but now you also owe me all the money.
Well, oh dear chosen of dead, I assume that you feel better now. And though I have to only assume that this does little to cleanse the confusion that likely racks your mind of the position you're in. I know not what he has answered you already, as she kind of glances up to Han, but it is within my duty to answer everything I can. And as she says that, we will be ending the session.
Wow! All right, I gotta write out all my questions I get.
Are you guys still injured?
Yes.
Yeah, I
pretty
assume
bad.
so.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm at
you're-
7 out of 33.
I don't think heal. Wait,
Oh,
did she heal
I-
the drain then as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably should have healed you.
The
then, Corin, 'cause I got
the disease drained is gone, but you guys still have drained one if you got
Shit.
sucked. So
Oh, we do.
Oh, okay.
Poop.
Taking
Oh, we have
I
to
might
rest
just,
a day.
I might have to heal you then, Corin, because I got heal. I haven't
You
used
don't
it yet.
have to. We're not doing anything today.
Does healing yourself get rid of drain? Is that
No.
what it goes? Okay.
no,
Mm.
it
No, only if it's
It's magic.
specifically
if you rest for 24 hours, I think you reduce it by 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caralho, tô com 2 de vida.
Well,
recording.
Good session.
Yeah, I mean,
fucking
all right. Thank you everybody for joining us for the first session of Scuffed Rolls Revive. Sorry for all the hiccups. It isn't normally like this, but at least in my position, I'm getting used to some school-related stuff, so I apologize for that. But thank you for sticking with us if you watched up to this point. And next episode coming next week, Saturday at 6 p.m.
Let's go!